We are not editing the live recording of this. Fuck that noise.
You could use it
we're
as
just
a.
gonna go to YouTube Studio and just chop the first like 15 minutes of this off.
Yeah. We didn't. I just finished editing the Levy tier list. Not Levy. I keep calling him Levy. The Von Schill tier list that we shot, and that one was fun. But tier lists take me like 12 hours to edit, so maybe more than that even. I don't know. Okay, so welcome everybody to the Danger Planet. I'm Brandon. Welcome back. That was a hectic 8.5 minutes where I was saying some nonsense and doing some nonsense. But congratulations, we made it. Hello. Today I'm joined by three of my favorite people, and only one of them is a filthy arcanist. Haku, say hello to the internet.
Hello, internet.
Amazing. Tyler, do you want to say hello to the internet?
Hi, internet.
Okay, you might know Haku from Badfaux Haku and Tyler from Malifaux Shenanigans. And today's filthy arcanist is Jeff from Defective Dice.
I was gonna say, wait, who's the filthy arcanist? Because I'm definitely a filthy arcanist.
It's you!
Yay!
Wow.
I'm a clean arcanist. I take showers.
Nice. Yeah, that's true.
I play a lot of Marcus.
Haku
There's not a lot of
is
showers
pretty
out there.
frequently a filthy arcanist. So basically, long story short about this whole bit is Haku and I were recording the Von Schill tier list with who else was there? Not Sam, Roxy, Tyler's friend from the Pacific Northwest, who filled in at the last possible second. So shout out Roxy, you saved our butts. She was there, and who else was with us? Am I crazy?
I mean, you are crazy.
And Owen. It was Owen.
Good
It was
friend of
Owen
the
Best.
show.
Owen Best, who fresh off of his Texas Scorpius win, playing Outcasts. So shout out Owen, you're great. Had a great time shooting that. We got it out right away. And a couple of the patrons pinged me because I originally put out a Patreon post and I was like, hey, if you guys want to be in a live stream, come on. So now that I understand how this works, maybe it's something that we'll do after if it gets positive reviews. Maybe it will because tier list, maybe it will because live stream, maybe it won't because everything's terrible. What's going on, Kamikaze Nugget? I'm gonna pay attention.
Your first mistake was inviting me to something about the gameplay of Malifaux.
No, this is not about the gameplay of Malifaux. Let me be
I don't know
excellent.
what you're talking about. I'm taking this very seriously.
This is very serious. Yeah, Haku and I will be taking this seriously. Tyler might, I don't know. And then Jeff, I assume you're here for color commentary and shenanigans.
Hey, that's my.
No, Shenanigans is Tyler's
Oh,
thing.
Tyler is
You
here
can't
for
step on
shenanigans.
mine. Yeah.
Jeff is here to be defective, and Haku is here to be bad.
That sounds about right.
And I'm
Checked
here to
out.
be Planetus. Okay, great. So the first thing that we have to do, and then we're going to break a little bit from tradition in the normal tier list style, is we have to tier list the 10 zombie models that we have access to in Malifaux, which is why they're first. So if you don't know what Mindless Zombie is, it's a model. It has stuff. You can see its stats on the screen. They're bad. The notable bits here are Pack Mentality, which during his activation, or sometimes during Sir Rotten's bonus action, they get +1 for every other friendly model that is a mindless zombie within Aura 3. They have a basically 1 damage attack that auto poisons. They have a bonus action that pushes 3 inches that moves 3 inches towards a model with less than its maximum health. They're hard to wound. They're insignificant. They're mindless. They got 3 health. Their defense 3. Their melee attack is stat 8 usually, but we'll talk about that later. So first up we have the My Bloody Valentine zombie. What are we thinking for My Bloody Valentine? And you feel free to, I guess, put your ratings as how cool the model is, how bad the movie was, some combination of both.
These are all Gremlin inspired, so bottom.
All right, Haku says that all 5 of the Gremlin
Also, the movie
models...
wasn't that good.
Let's talk about our
Is it
tiers.
the OG movie or the remake? Or the sequel?
I think that this is the OG, but you can rate on either the remake or the sequel. And let's talk about our tiers before I forget. So we have 5 tiers, unlike normal, and the tiers are, starting from the least good, going up, we have Burr, we have Brain, we have Brains, then we also have Brains, and then we have Brains. And that's how you have to call them out. If you don't tell me the right one or add enough Z's, I will put it in the wrong tier.
Okay.
Rad.
Burr.
All right, Haku. Oh, you think really? Oh, okay. Haku says all the zombies are going in Burr. We'll start there, but
No, the first 5 that are
Jeff.
gremlins.
There's 5. All the 5 gremlin zombies. I apologize.
All right,
Jeff.
Haku. Counterpoint. It's a gremlin. What has a pickaxe in its head? So
that I think that deserves at least a brain.
I mean, I'm fine with you guys rating these accurately, but as an avid gremlin hater, burr.
All right, so we're just gonna skip Haku for the next 4 models, and then we'll just average in a burr. All right, Jeff, talk us through My Bloody Valentine zombie. Where do you think? And then we'll average our ratings out with a 4th burr.
I mean, I feel like it's cost 2, which is fantastic. That's really cheap.
Okay, well they're all cost 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. That gives it points.
Yeah.
It's a gremlin that's dead, which is funny to me. So that gives it points.
Man, I didn't think of it that way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a gremlin that's dead, so it makes it good.
My mind's blown.
Haku, are you willing to revise your rating of all of these gremlins because they're dead as brain for average?
I mean, the only good gremlin's a dead gremlin, so
amazing. All right, we're now averaging. We've talked Haku up to averaging at brain.
You want to hear a funny thing about mindless zombie gremlins?
Yeah, for sure.
Gremlins are mostly size 1, but somehow when they're undead, they grow to size 2.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very funny. I wish that they made 5 new like mindlesser zombies and like gave them a rule that says they count as mindless zombies, but they're size 1 instead. But
yeah.
But then we could have 15 zombies with Asura Rotten, which would actually be pretty rad. So Weird, get in the comments. Or the viewers, get in the comments. Tell Weird. Tyler, what do you think on My Bloody Valentine?
So I am an avid. I avoid horror and gore entirely. I am not. That's not my jam at all.
Well, these next 5 zombies are going to be a bit of a rough one.
I know, but if we're basing on the movies, I'm saying we're based on the movies. I'm gonna go all the way down to burr for the movies, but
okay.
I love Rezzers, so it's weird. I'm gonna stick this at brain because I don't know the movie. What I googled image search didn't seem great, and I like mindless zombies. So.
All right. Let me just say, I will say so far. Oh, and Jeff, where are you? What are you saying as your rating?
I think we could stay right where it is. Brains is good.
You think brains? Yeah. So if 2 brain, and a brains, it probably puts us still in brain. But I'm gonna shed some light on my Bloody Valentine that I think will sway everybody. So firstly, it's a rad movie about this dude who is trying to get with this other miner in the tunnel. They're not both dudes, which would have automatically put this in brains, but we'll get there. So basically, and I've watched the movie definitely and didn't just read a Wikipedia summary minutes before this stream, so take that into account.
Yeah, that checks out.
But basically he goes crazy and then murders her, and then he almost starves to death and has to go cannibal for a while, and then he gets put in an asylum, and then he sends people boxes of Valentine's Day chocolates with their hearts in them after he kills them and cuts them out, and then he you can't have this Valentine's dance. If you have this Valentine's dance, I'll kill again. And I'm all about vengeance, so my vote is brains.
I like vengeance. You've convinced me.
So but then with the 2 brain. Wow, I think we average this guy out to brains. Let's go ahead and talk our next boyo. Oh no, it resizes every time. I did not think this. Fuck. Well, shit.
It's like you've never done this before.
Oh no. Oh, and I can't move them. This is...
Why would it resize? I'm actually confused.
I am upset.
Were you cropping the web page?
Yeah. But I thought that it would... Oh, hold on.
You resize using the Google, not using
No, I'm not
OBS?
using Google. I downloaded a specific program for this. Talk about Mike Myers zombie while I figure out this technical difficulty.
I mean, Mike Myers OG classic. I'll put him in brains.
Oh, it's a 3Z.
Although I guess not OG. I mean, he is actually pretty late in the horror, but for a millennial, he's OG.
I mean, I like what he's got going on here, where he's got his arm, he's holding the other arm, which is holding the knife, and that aesthetically for me is hilarious,
You're
and
not
I
wrong.
will agree with that. Again, don't like the movies. However, I am down for Brains. Wait, it was 3 Z's, not 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
brains.
No,
is
you said it right.
Brains.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I fixed the problem. I had the wrong selection thing done. Jeff, how are you feeling? Are you feeling brains?
So a thing that you have to know about me is that I know a lot about Malifaux lore. I don't know very much about real life lore. So I've never seen any of these movies, and it's not because I'm like averse to gore. I just don't care for horror much. So
Yeah.
let's go. I mean, the hand holding a hand thing is pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
I feel like I'm just gonna put all these in the middle.
Okay.
It's just gonna go brains again.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me, I guess, then talk to everybody quickly about how. So this is Mike Myers. He like killed his sister and then like came back 20 years later and then killed a bunch of teenagers, and that's like his deal.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I'm kind of in the brain category, but
Right.
like I guess I'll give the
How did
arm
we
an
flip?
aesthetic.
How did we flip
bump.
so hard?
What's that?
How did we flip so hard?
Well, I like the arm, but I'm not really.
'Cause he
I think
doesn't
Mike
like
Myers is
good-
kind of a lame character.
Actual good scary movies.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of actual good scary movies, let's talk the potential best after I just do one of what is this? The status bar, or the toolbar? I think it's the toolbar. It wasn't the toolbar. It wasn't the status bar either. It's the menu bar. We did it. Let's talk the next zombie that's up, the Carrie zombie. Now, I'll preface this one with saying Carrie is amazing. If you don't know anything about this movie, it's perfect. So basically, the premise is a girl is going to a school, and then she gets a bunch of bullied relentlessly in a very uncool way, and it's terrible, and they're massive dicks to her. And so at one point they like fake elect her prom queen and then dump a bucket of blood on her while she's on the stage with her crown on, and that's what the zombies are a picture of. And then the good part of the movie happens, where she traps them all in the school and burns them to death alive. And so I don't think that it's conscionable to rate this anything less than brains, unless you're in favor of bullying.
I mean, I'm generally in favor of bullying, but also I like Carrie, so I'll agree with you. Top tier.
All right, Haku.
Oh, yeah.
I just was wondering if we were supposed to have a problem with Stephen King or not, but no, we're not. I'm thinking of the different author.
If you're thinking recently, you're thinking Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman.
I don't
know
think
why I got
Stephen
Neil
King
Gaiman,
has
Stephen
gotten
King
me
mixed
too.
up in my head, but yeah.
Get
Stephen
in the
King
comments
did
if Stephen King has gotten me too. Let us know, and we'll move Carrie down.
He had 5 young boys run train on a girl. That was kind of weird.
Okay, I don't think he's not getting me too for writing the book It. So
I'm not sure if he should.
also, I'm pretty sure. Did they end up cutting that out of the new It remake? I don't remember. I didn't watch it.
Yeah. Of course they did.
If you're not familiar, I guess because you guys, Jeff and Tyler both said you don't watch horror movies. The book It, or the one that's recently made
I
into
don't
2
know
movies.
if we want to go into more detail on this.
Yeah, they basically have to get their superpowers to defeat It by having like an orgy in the tunnels as teenagers,
No.
and
That's the end.
what? It's the end of the
book.
teenager
it's
part.
them. It's to show them. It's to show them moving on from kids. It's the end of the part 1 of the book.
Yeah, it's the end
It's to
of
show
that
that
part.
they're no
It's at the end
longer
of the
young
movie.
men.
I mean.
Yeah, well, the book, yes.
Yeah, sure. But point being, they're children, and it's terrible.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, Carrie. Actually, I'm not like the hugest fan of the movie. I thought it was fine. I never actually read it.
The original
That's
one
one
or
of
the
the ones
remake?
I haven't read. I haven't watched the remake, so only the original.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, there is a remake, and it's pretty.
I'll
good
go
from
with
what
just
I've heard.
brains.
All right. Well, okay. So brains. That's fine. Tyler,
Yeah, fuck bullying. Top tier Brains.
we did it. We're going brains. I was gonna put it in brains anyway, so it didn't matter. Let's talk the next bully / gremlin zombie horror mashup, Freddy Krueger. This guy's, I think, a pedophile. Technically.
Not confirmed.
Yeah. It's the loss of innocence. But yes, I agree, Stephen King. What a time.
Yeah, I didn't remember. I didn't remember that in the movie. That's the one movie that I saw that put me off of horror movies, and it was the original one, not the remake one.
It?
Yeah.
Oh, wild. Okay, well, have you seen Freddy Krueger? Okay, so it's not confirmed that he's a pedophile, right? Because whole towns just get together and vigilante justice murder people when they're not Oh wait, hold on.
Well, the remake made it like almost very clear he was. The original, it was much more ambiguous.
Yeah. That's.
But yes, they
fair.
did come together to vigilante kill a creepy old guy who lived in the basement of a school, pretty much.
Yeah, he was white though.
Is that based on the true story of the guy? I forget where it was, but somewhere like in the Midwest where he was like a horrible, horrible person, and then the whole town came out and just murdered him, and no one would tell the cops who did it.
I hope so, but I don't think so. I think it. I think it was. I don't know what it's from, quite frankly. But can I just say it is my favorite model, because it's just cool looking. Like he's like big and kind of tubby, and he has like a cool sweater that's gonna be fun to paint. He's got a pitchfork instead of a hand. It's like through his arm. All right. Well, Haku, what are you rating? what are you rating it? I get no feedback. Haku.
I will rate Freddy Krueger Brains because Nightmare on Elm Street is another classic banger.
That might be the story for Roadhouse. Okay. Jeff.
Sorry, we have Halloween actively going on, and a dog that loves barking at people coming in the front door. So I'm a little busy handing out candy.
Are you literally handing out candy while you're doing this stream, Haku?
Well, I was muted for a bit, but yeah.
I was gonna say I didn't hear it. I mean, whatever. That's fine. Normally, that's very funny. Normally, I'd be like, "What the fuck, guy?" But it's hilarious.
Look, it's Halloween. You gotta do it.
Okay. So Haku says brains. Jeff, what do you think for Freddy Krueger Zombie?
I hate to disagree with you, but I don't love the model compared to the other ones. Okay. I think I'd put it somewhere around Brain.
Brain? Really? Wow. All right, Tyler. I'm in Brains all the way, but only for the model part, not the potential pedophile part.
I mean, if I'm rating Carrie top tier because of fuck bullying, I gotta rate him for being a pedophile.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sorry, Freddie. You gotta go in Brain. On average, you just gotta go Brain. Brain? All right. Let's hop over to your last Gremlin zombie, so Haku can take this more seriously. We have the Jason Voorhees zombie, and he has mistakenly sheathed his machete in the middle of his chest. Hilarity, Haku. What do you think?
Not even the killer of his own movie. Brr.
Wait. Oh, in that they kill him? Is that what you mean?
No, he's not even the killer in his own movie.
Isn't he?
No.
What?
Have you not watched?
Do you mean he's not the killer in Jason vs. Freddy because it's Freddy that does it?
He's not the killer in Friday the 13th. Haven't you watched Scream at least?
I've watched.
It's
yeah,
Mama
Scream.
Voorhees.
Yes. No. What?
Mama Voorhees is the killer in Friday the 13th.
Is she?
It's literally the opening.
No, spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. By the way, great movie, absolutely fantastic movie. Would rate the movie as Brains, especially the Psych episode remake because Psych did a lot of the main ones. But no, he's not the killer in his own movie. He goes to Burr.
He's okay. All right. Well, hear me out though. Oh, when you said Scream, Scream is the one with the dude who has the melty face and the main character is played by Anna Faris, right?
Yeah. And the murderer calls up the house, asks them questions, and one of the questions he asks is, "Who's the killer in Friday the 13th?" And the person answers, "Michael Myers," and they're like, or not Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and they're like, "Nope, no, you're wrong. It wasn't Jason Voorhees," and then she freaks out and gets killed.
I don't remember that part. I just remember at the end it was
the opening of Scream.
Yeah, I remember at the end everyone was surprised that Marlon Wayne's character was banging that other dude, and I'm a huge fan of that. So,
I'm feeling woozy here.
Yeah,
that's the best part of the movie.
The fun part is that Haku's talking about the movie Scream, and I've been talking about the movie Scary Movie. In case that's not
Marlon Wayne.
I figured you were. I didn't know actor's name, so I just went with it because there was the 50-50 chance.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Also a great movie.
Yeah. Lol. Anna Faris was
So yeah,
famous for a
our
scary
chat
movie.
caught
Chat caught
before
it.
I
Chat
did.
caught it. That's good. We did it. So okay. So Jeff, what are you thinking for the Jason Voorhees zombie? Now that we know that he's not even the killer
I'm a big fan of machetes, so
and
I'm gonna
stabbing
go
gremlins.
and stabbing gremlins, and I think it's maybe the coolest of the 5 sculpts. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go brains.
Interesting. See, I'm more of a brains. So Tyler, I think you're going to be the deciding vote here. We have a brains, and a burr. What do you think?
Pressure. Nah, I really like the sculpt on this one. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go up to right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think if you're in a relatively positive affect, I think we're going to brains. I don't know why. I keep raising my voice like it's a question sometimes. All right. Now let's talk the original zombies. And I will say, for these 5, you are allowed to take into account the translucent zombies, which are the optimal sculpt variant of these.
Correct.
So first, Lady Zombie. Haku, what do you think?
Burr. The arrow breaks off and it's very annoying.
I didn't even put my arrows on either the normal or translucent ones because I was like, this is going to instantly break off. So I forgot that was even part of the model. But that's a good point. Jeff, what do you think?
Same answer for the same reason.
Tyler?
Brain?
Brain, yeah.
I kind of like it.
I do kind of like her in that she's a little unique, but that arrow is stupid, so burr. Let's. Oh shit! I forgot to update the card art. Okay. Well, speaking of next zombies, let's talk about this guy. He has clearly severely broken his leg and is kind of limping. I call him the slanty zombie, or no? What do I say? The swabbly. I don't know. I named them all in a thing, but he's like kind of slanted over, and he's having a time. What do we think, Haku?
Classic brains.
Classic brains. He's
classic
like middle
good
of the pack.
zombie.
Yeah, fair enough.
Brains.
Yeah, Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like he's like when you picture a zombie, this is kind of exactly what you picture. So I feel like he's pretty solid. I might go. No, I think brains is good, right in the middle.
Yeah, Tyler.
Same. Yeah. He's an average guy.
All right, I think this guy is aggressively mid, but not in the bad way that mid means now. So I'll agree with that. What about the chunk zombie? Chunky Haku. I'm interested to hear your opinion on the finer nuances of the chunky one.
The nuance is I've slammed this guy on a 50 mil to act as a construct before. Because I'm from M2E, so I don't have multiple flesh constructs of the rare one guy. So yeah, I'll rate him brains because of that. Otherwise, he's just fine.
All right.
But yeah, that versatility makes him brains.
Just brains, not brains.
Yeah, just brains.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Jeff, what do you
Otherwise,
think?
I just prefer classic. I think.
Yeah, I get it. Jeff.
I like this model. I think it's pretty cool. The only thing that holds me back from rating it a lot higher is that it is quite a bit bigger than the other one, so it makes it look like a different model from a distance.
That's true.
But that said, I do like the sculpt, so I'm gonna go brains.
Ooh, brains. All right, Tyler. Bring it home. How do you feel? This guy.
Yeah, this is the one that I reach for the most whenever I'm slapping a zombie down.
Me
so
too. But I don't know if that's because it's good or because there's more zombie real estate to work with.
It's usability, visibility on the table. I know what it is. Hopefully my opponent does. And if they mistake it for a flesh construct, cool.
Yeah.
But I'll throw it in the not the top tier, but brains.
Brains. Yeah. I think I'm gonna agree with you. Brains. And I think that the versatility of it's much larger, so you can pretend it's a flesh construct. Seems pretty good. Let's talk I like to call this guy Stakes. Because he got stakes. He's got one through him. He's got one that he's holding on and like sort of like doing like a cool trick on. And I think cool tricks make models cooler if he's like doing a trick, you know. Haku.
I kind of agree. I'm brains on this guy. He's just he's a classic zombie with that added flair of a giant
of doing
pipe
a trick
through him,
Yeah.
or wooden beam in him, and unlike the arrows, it doesn't just fall off.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, he kind of reminds me of Tony Hawk Pro Skater because Tony Hawk Pro Skater also has been impaled in his chest cavity, presumably. Or he hasn't, and I just made that up. Jeff.
I think you made that up. I feel like this is one of their early attempts to make they've gotten into much more dynamic poses over the years, and I feel like this was like a 80% of the way there. I feel like they didn't quite nail it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit awkward, the posing to me.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna put this right in the middle at brains.
Brains. Yeah. Tyler, how do we feel?
I think he's better than average, and I like the dynamic pose personally.
Yeah.
So I'll throw him on brains.
Brains. All right. I think I'm inclined to agree. Like the dynamicy of his pose is low. I will say that. It's like it looks like they're like trying for sure, but he is doing a trick. So I'm inclined to agree. Brains. You know. And this bit is getting fucking old, quite frankly. So I'm glad that there's only one more. This zombie is only half a zombie. He's just from the chest down, and he reminds me of, I think, the cover of The Walking Dead. And
He's a burr.
I don't know if that's intense. Jeff's throwing in
Bad model.
a burr right away.
Bad model.
What do you think?
Oh,
I give it a brain just
Brain?
because of the convenience of basing it. Very easy.
Very easy.
Very
Okay.
small model. You just get the plunk, done.
Yeah. And it's one of the very few models in the game where you get to where like you're not mad if a whole bunch of your basing texture gets on his chest.
Also, I don't even remember if you had to assemble him. He kind of.
I think the arm is a second
one
piece.
almost.
I think
Yeah,
the reaching
it
arm
was
is
just
a
two
second.
pieces.
Yeah.
It was so simple.
Yeah. Tyler, what are you
I
talking
gotta say, so talking about basing was actually where I was coming from with this guy. You throw him on one of those 30 mil graveyard bases, and it's such a perfect match
Yeah.
for aesthetic and the base. And this is number 2 that I always reach for, and I will throw this brains top tier for me.
All right.
This is my number 1 pick, or I should say my number 1 pick, and then the Chunky Boy's number 2 when I.
So for a similar reason, I think I am inclined to say brains as well, because it really just is like functionally the cool, like the one I reach for the most, and it's the least likely to break because there's so little of it. But I think on average that puts us in brains.
Oh, how does it feel to be so wrong, you guys?
Well, you're a brain. You did brain it. Okay, but here's the deal.
I did bird. Bottom tier. It's the worst one so far.
Okay, so we gotta flatten this out now. Because I want it to be. There's 5 tiers, and I want 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. So, which of the brains zombies is getting a promotion?
The chunky one.
The chunky one, Haku,
Or the machete one.
I'm fine with the chunky one.
Tyler. Obviously, I think. Okay, well, we're doing chunky. I'll put him behind Carrie. I'm happy to put this guy in front of Jason because I think that seems reasonable. And then I think we probably brains this guy. I think we put this guy above Freddy Krueger.
No, you can't put OG down in brain.
Fine. Well, we're not gonna Bloody Valentine's. All right, so then we're doing.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not. You're insane. All right, we'll put him in front. How's this?
If you're forcing us to do this false rating,
All right.
we are.
All right.
No. You gotta swap Bloody Valentine with the.
Yeah, you're the only one who likes Bloody
Have to go
Valentine.
up.
Oh, you guys
Yeah,
are
drop.
fucking harsh, guy. All
Drop
right.
it.
Yeah.
Brains? Can
Get
we all-
those gremlins at the bottom?
Can we all-
You did
Get them
it
down
wrong.
there.
You still did it wrong.
All right, can-
Mike Myers goes up to brains. Drop average boy down.
Why are you using S's?
Because that's how it's spelled. I should have made it the tactical action. Also, so that it's not wonky like this, I'm going to refresh it and hope that it keeps the tier. I'm just going to take a quick picture in case it doesn't. And this is going to be the most upsetting thing that I've ever done in my life. And I'm going to.
Yeah, I don't know why you're risking this.
I'm risking it.
No,
I'm risking it for the bisking it.
Oh, you should duplicate the tab first. Okay, cool.
There's no time
That's
for
the whole
duplicating tabs on this stream, Tyler. All right. Shit. It kept. Oh my fucking fuck, guy. It kept that, but what it didn't keep was the order of all of the things, which I'm now gonna have to change real quick.
Nah.
No,
YOLO.
No, I'm not gonna low this YOL. It has to be in station order. I demand it. Let's see. More or less. I'll just do it as the... Okay, so this concludes the part of the program where we talk about horror movies and are goofy for a bit. Now we're going to talk about the serious bullshit. Asura Rotten. Asura Rotten is a weird thing to be talking about in Malifaux, I think. This is a lady who previously was, I think, maybe hired a grand total of 2 times in the entirety of Mark III. Maybe in the early days before the first book came out, people were like, "Yeah, fucking zombies." And
I didn't know
like,
that you could take her in War Machine. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's surprising. I know. Yeah, Mark III really added some interesting twists to that game. That's why they lost all the player base. But fuck you, Jeff. But yeah, so basically, nobody ever hired her in 3rd edition because she didn't really do much. She was aggressively outpaced by pretty much any other thing, and the keyword synergy was bad. But then, in the update, they went and added Grave Dynamo, and it says Mindless Zombies 10. I mean, it also says friendly models within Aura 6. Friendly zombie models within Aura 6 get a flat plus flip to their actions, which is pretty fucking wild. But
also, her bonus just says everybody can get plus flips to their
yeah,
non-claw gun actions.
Yeah, Macabre Fusion is friendly mindless zombies within range take a move 3 inches and then take an action, which if they're within 6, they will get a plus flip to. And then the trigger, which you're basically always getting because she has siphon power, and also as a henchman if you need to stone for it. But it's also just a 4, so you can just easily have the card too. When resolving the generated action, mindless zombies may benefit from pack mentality and ignore their insignificant ability. She has Return of the Dead, which they changed from, I think, her old ability, so she can summon a zombie with an 8 on a 4 of crows, which she can siphon power. So if you summon a zombie, if you have a single 4 of crows, you can summon a zombie within 4, then summon 2 more zombies, siphoning power onto that zombie, giving it 1 health left, with 3 zombies within 8, and if they're all within 6, then you bonus action, have a crow, stone for a crow, siphon power onto literally any other model, and then all 3 of the zombies that you that you just summoned get to move 3 inches and then take an action that they benefit from pack mentality or ignore insignificant. Like, so summon 3 zombies, put 3 vote tokens on a thing within 6, basically, right? It's pretty nuts. She's a hell of a lady, and if you're gonna lead a henchman-led zombie crew, this is how you do it. And she just flat out has the zombie keyword now instead of before. I think she was at it, which means she won't benefit from her thing because it's other friendly zombies. But you know, there's stuff. Haku, you've been playing her, I think, the most, and quite frankly, you accidentally inspired me to play her, and then I played her once, and now I'm hooked. What do you think? I didn't even talk about Decay.
No, she's just one of the most fun masters to play right now. As a henchman, she's disgusting. You can probably fit her into pretty much every crew because things she's does is just very decent and annoying. But realistically has the most synergy with McMorning. By herself as a master, though, she's just really fun. She legitimately is a top pick in a good chunk of matchups, depending on the pool. There's some pools, obviously, she's absolutely terrible in as a master, or even against some matchups. Like, be careful playing it into arcs where they can just take killing every one of your zombies as a free soul stone.
That's not a good place to be.
So there's definitely like huge counter matchups, but when you don't have one of those, very strong.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely worth noting that, like, some of the bits that you can do with the crew are really just tar pitting and slowing people down while some of your other models go. There's some bullshit that we'll get into with the Dead Rider later that's insane. There's other things. But I think also Decay. Like, having an 8-inch blast a bunch of stuff and injure them is nuts, but also siphon life on it, which you can build in by siphoning power onto like a mindless zombie that doesn't matter. Asura can heal, which is really strong. And then you just blast injured onto a bunch of people for a bunch of damage. And the target takes a little bit more damage. And then, like, the other thing that's really wild is while all of this is going on, and you're doing a bunch of zombie bullshit in the beginning, in the center of the field, tying people down, or wherever you decide to throw the Asura bubble, every time a zombie dies, every time one of your opponent's model dies, anything within 6, she also heals 1. Which means if they focus her down really hard, she'll die pretty easily because she doesn't really have much aside from hard to kill. But if they're not going to focus her down and they think they're going to chip damage her, then they're going to just do nothing because she's going to instantly heal back up every time any meaningful shift in the battlefield happens, which is really cool.
Yeah, I haven't played her yet, and I'm dying to.
Yeah.
But what I did mess around with an unpack, and
Ooh,
I will say
the inklings of potentially a future Malifaux Shenanigans video, Tyler?
quite possibly, yes.
Ooh, who could say?
Yeah, threw it down in the lab and figured out with the right list, I got six zombies summoned from corner 17 inches outside the deployment zone. I found that a zombie battery nearby for siphon power is wonderful.
Yeah.
And she can siphon power herself, right? That's what Hannah does all the time in Outcast. So if you're gonna throw for decay for extra damage and min 3 blast, just having a blast on decay on the weak damage track is huge, especially when it tosses a condition like injured, which is one of the most reasons why I hate Bo Fishbacher so much.
Yeah.
Stupid freaking guy. But yeah. So blasts on every single track is really, really good. But as I haven't got into a turn 2 kind of what if situation yet where I can use more of her bonus actions.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to play her.
Yeah, turn 2 is where shit gets crazy. But yeah, there's a lot that you can do for sure. Jeff, what do you think? I assume you haven't had a chance to play against this yet, yeah?
No, I haven't played against it. I actually played some Rezzers in 2nd edition, and I played Asura Rotten quite a bit, and I'm really glad to see that they're making changes to make her relevant, because as we've already stated, she was never hired before. Also, Black Lady with natural hair, top tier.
Yeah,
all day.
Right? Dude, yeah, there's so much stuff going on. This is a cool model, and I'm excited to finally, paint mine, because it's just been primed for the last thingy. But I guess part of the nature of the tier list, and also what we're doing, is, Asura Rotten's going in brains, because we're just gonna. That's what I got for that. Haku, do you have anything else you want to say about her? Because I think you're probably the most versed, but...
I'd say really don't underestimate how amazing that the 4-inch plus flip aura is. There are so many Resin Masters that I think can start hiring this model.
Yeah.
Shook's a good example.
6-inch.
Anyone who just has unpack with a lot of TNs.
Yeah.
I mean, she makes the corpse marker herself while making a second annoying corpse marker.
Which is why McMorning is the natural fit. But you'll notice if you just take a quick look at the Seamus list, at the tier list, that there's a couple McMorning models and a shit ton of Seamus models in this tier list already. So getting them all plus flips is pretty good.
Yeah, Von Stook's actions, a cast attack, at range 10. Why not just have that at plus flips? Riva has similar things. There's a lot of masters where it's just long range cast actions.
Oh no! Sorry, her bonus action study, if you're not using Macabre Infusion, is Ritual of Empowerment, which just gives friendly models within 4 of a course or scrap marker that you targeted.
Oh yeah, yeah.
While dropping, she gets to be a scheme marker dropper later, which Rezzers, don't get me wrong, we had decent incorporeal models, but just range scheme dropping on top of schemes we never really had. So she can summon, model at range, summon a zombie at range 6 and turning into a scheme marker. And during your unpack, even if you're not relying on the zombies, you just go, okay, we're going to unpack this at plus flips, or my master needs to get around concealing. Let's just pop a plus flip next to him.
Yeah. Also, her decay heals friendly undead for 2.
Yeah.
The blast 2. Just saying. Dude, every single line of text on this model's card is insane. Every single one. And she's, for 8 points, having her as just a versatile henchman. I think there's a lot of flex for it. And we'll talk about some specific cases for it afterwards. But, so if you're hiring Asura Rotten, you get for free one of these bad Larrys. The Carrion Effigy. It's bad. It does things that's significant, but it's an effigy, so it's hard to kill. Armor 1 Accomplice. You get it for free with a henchman. It's 5/4/5/1 because it's not like the Ark's Emissary, which is what for some reason like one less movement or some one stat down somewhere. Maybe it's defense. He's got a gun that's like a 1/2/3 that gets out injured, which is fine, but it's stat 4. He's not a zombie. He can heal, which is probably the only thing he really will do of any use. He just heals an undead model within 2 inches for 1/2/3. Inconveniently, though, the models that you want to be healing with this just aren't undead, which is like Ezekiel and Asura Rotten. But like, you get them for free, so like you might as well take them. Sometimes people are like, "There's a small thing and we have to kill it," like me, for instance. I don't really give a shit about these guys, so I leave them alone. But Haku, carrying effigy. I mean, assuming that you're hiring her in a crew, you're never gonna hire it. But like,
yeah. No, I don't even bother putting the upgrade on it. Obviously,
Yeah.
I run it forward, and it's a distraction. It's significant.
Yeah.
And
it's a
that
significant
aura
distraction.
is brutal if you get it up. It's a really good aura. So if they don't kill it, it is still very annoying. So just my recommendation: don't put an upgrade on it. Just run it forward and have it be a model that they have to take care of instead of more relevant models.
Yeah. The I think the big downside is that because of its before and after ability, you can't. Because you can put the upgrade on it, which is why it has to have this. You can't also hire the carrion effigy. Emissary if you hire the effigy. So like it's either put the 2-point upgrade on this or just buy the emissary and then lose out on the free 4 points. And I kind of wish that they would do something about that to make it like something. It'd be cool if that were a thing with henchman-led crews because I think it would really push them
it
a lot
is
more
still
lively,
legitimately decently strong and rotten as a free model. I
Yeah.
mean, because you do just walk, throw the aura up, accomplice into your beater, beat the crap out of a henchman or
Yeah.
master.
Yeah,
And
accomplice
people
is,
don't see it coming.
I think Accomplice is one of those abilities that you really need to know the game super well to play, and then people who don't see it coming get blown out by it. But
Hey, top tier opponents were getting blown up by it, so I'm
yeah,
just saying.
yeah. I mean, it's not even an experience thing. I mean, it's just not very commonly used, and sometimes chain activations fuck. Jeff, what do you think? Carrying effigy?
I like Plague Doctor models. I think they're cool.
Yeah. He's a little
At
Plague
the
Doctor
same
puppy.
time, I have all the effigies, and I think this might be the most boring of the group. I just feel like there's not enough happening. And like you said, I don't think I've ever seen this thing on the table because I don't think people take them. So
Yeah. I think you only
Michael
really
Burr.
ever see him with henchman-led crews and reserves, which you don't ever see really.
Right. No, I take it back. I'm gonna go brain
Brain
because
Brain.
I do like aspects of the model.
Yeah. Tyler, what do you think? As an actual reservoir.
Yeah, I'll take it because it's free, but I don't. There's so much else going on in Rezzers that I don't find myself reaching for it. And like you said, if I'm going for kind of a bigger, nastier list, I'll just hire the emissary.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't even. That might change with the Sura now because I don't really use the emissary very much.
Wild. Yeah, I think it's unfortunate because like I think that the newer one, if it were like, it's probably, I don't think it's the weakest for sure, but like the new Rotten Harvest boxes also just like came out, and they're like cool, but I like almost every other one more than the Rezer one because it's just like a little kid hiding behind a grave. And I guess he's a zombie kid maybe, but like, man, whatever. Yeah, I think I'm inclined to put this in Brain. Haku, do you think I'm crazy? I mean, you're never hiring it. I think that maybe even Burr, right? I think you just get it for
I'm fine
free.
with Brain.
Yeah,
I'm fine
think
with Brain.
it does
it's
stuff.
deceptively good. The healing matters for a rider who,
Oh, rider, yeah, that's true. That is actually irrelevant. The problem is he's never going to be within 2 inches of the rider ever. But
that's not true. You reap people back in your backline, and you just walk, stitch up.
All right, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Turn one, just walk forward 10 inches.
I don't reap people into my backline though because I just, make hundreds of zombies.
But when your backline is Toshra and Asura giving everyone double positives, and then you reap them and summon bazillion models around them, that guy dies.
In your backline, though. Okay.
The
Well, we'll
ultimate-
talk about it when we get to the Toshiro, which I think is going to be probably the most contentious point in the tier list. But for now, let's talk about Madame Sybil. Look at this lady. She's fucking horrifying. Jesus Christ. I hate this model. I should have chosen the Emmeline Bellerose one, which is the model that I use and can tolerate. This model is terrifying. Not just 11, if you catch my
Also,
We're in
even if
spooky
it,
Halloween mode, so this is apt.
I guess.
even if it wasn't a bad model, the fact that Emmeline Belrose
Okay,
exists
first of all,
makes
you should
her
warm
bad.
out.
Okay, sorry. Hold on. What, Haku, what'd you say?
I was responding to Dice calling this a bad model.
Oh, I mean, it is, but
You-
the card's good. Model bad. Jeff, what did you say about Emmeline?
Oh, I said even if it wasn't a bad model, it would be made worse by the fact that you could play Emmeline Belrose instead, and she's the best.
Emmeline Bellerose is the best, and she just does all this stuff with her bleeder lash, but it's an umbrella. All right, so Madame Sybil is a model. She has stuff, right? She's been nerfed once, which I think was probably reasonable. She's like 5s across the board, which is a pretty common theme in zombies. She's got a lot of health. She's a henchman, terrifying, hard to wound, like you do. Her melee weapon is exceptional.
She was buffed.
She used to give out focus.
Yeah.
Now she gives out distracted. That's worse.
She cost 1 less and got a better bonus action.
All right, well, calm down. All right, she's got. I've got your back, and she's got a weird 6-inch aura that gives opponents -1 to dual totals during their activation, which is it definitely catches some people off guard and makes things very situationally impossible to do. But it's just like it's the way of Rezzers where you just have like a bunch of stacking debuffs that do nonsense. Beckoning Call is objectively a great action. It can move your opponents. It can move your models. It moves them. It's a move towards, not a push towards. So like you can circumnavigate models with it. It's like it's got a whole bunch of shit. The triggers are pretty irrelevant. They just give out distracted. Although Unrequited Love is if you're hitting somebody, you can give out an unresisted a model in line of sight distracted, which is kind of neat. Her melee weapon is a 2-inch melee, which is great. Stat 6 against defense. It's min 3. It's got a trigger on every suit. Most of those triggers are really good. Sweeping Strike is a hell of a drug, which is just flat out on a tome plus blast. But it also has crit strike, so it can be min 5 if you want, because she's a henchman. And yeah, Haku, where are you on Madame Sybil? I know you like her, but in the zombie context, because I'm not as positive on her.
Context, I'll go as Brains. Mostly because they need a good beater. I ran a lot of the more meme lists. You need another person to just like hold the line.
Yeah.
And Undivided Attention is amazing at doing that. And you also probably want a way to get people off of points, especially in this GG. I Got Your Back. It's great for saving Ryder.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got your back.
There's just so many things you can do, especially like after you gum up their models with zombies, and you're like, all right, now let's get that guy back here, and then Undivided Attention, and they're trying to kill zombies, and stat 6s go down to 5s, and they hate having to cheat against the mindless zombie, and it's really funny.
Yeah, the trick of this list is very much getting your opponent to have to cheat cards against mindless zombies, because that is a slippery slope to losing the game. And it's like a mental, it's not just the normal mental gymnastics of Malifaux, because it's like nickel and diming them into thinking that it's a good idea, and you really have to stick to your guns to get attacked 45 times in a single round and then not cheat a single time when you're like, fuck, my model's gonna die if I don't. The trick is your model was always gonna die regardless, but it's just such a fun and aggressive thing to do to somebody. I don't know how to describe it. It's like neat to be on the side where you get to be the one attacking, but it's like, it's mean. I don't know that I'm in Brains, but I think I'd be in Brains, but let's see what everyone else has to say. Jeff, tell me. Unless you had more Haku, I don't know if you did.
No, that's about it.
I kind of cut you off.
The other reason she's great at least in Asura, she's great at frontlining, is Decay makes her much more terrifying.
Yeah, and she is
ever put this model down.
And she is actually legitimately a zombie as well, so she does get the plus flips as well from Asura's thingy, because it's not just minions, like Toshiro. Jeff, what do you think?
Great for Beckoning Call.
Madame Sybil?
Yeah, I think Beckoning Call is sweet. I think having a 2-inch melee is amazing. It's my favorite, but the model, like I see what they were going for with that weapon, but man, is it a pain in the ass to put together, and man, is it a pain in the ass to not break, and it constantly gets in the way, and it's annoying.
Yeah, that's
And
50% of the reason why I use Emmeline
It is
Bellerose.
currently in my box with the lash broken off.
Yeah,
that checks out.
It is in 100% of people who owns its box with the lash broken off.
Yeah. And again, I think Emmeline Belrose would be the top of the top tier.
Oh.
I'm going to put Madame Sibel at Brains.
Yeah, she would definitely be in Brains. And no one's saying it cool, guys. Come on. Okay, Tyler.
We haven't put anyone there yet.
Well, calm down.
So looking at this from a shenanigan point of view, anytime you have out of activation movement for either a friendly or an enemy, that's already a major piece of a puzzle.
Yeah.
I really love that. Plus all the triggers on the melee is just great. She's got 10 wounds, which is kind of steep for a lot of models and resers, which is another good thing. Yeah, I mean, I gotta double down on I Got Your Back is also fantastic too. There's so much opportunity here. Yeah, no, I think she's great where she is, if not half a point higher. But
yeah, Haku, were you also
there's
top tier with this, or you think Brains?
Brains.
Brains?
Brains.
Brains or Brains?
Sleepy Brains?
Brains.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you had said Brains and not Brains for a second. So good point.
No, there are no there are no S's. It's just Z's.
No, I didn't at any point in that whole bit say Brains.
Okay.
Those are completely different things. Jesus Christ, Haku. Are you too? You must be giving out too much candy and not paying attention.
I'm eating
all right.
too much of the candy.
Nice. Yeah, you should toss me some candy. I don't have any.
No, I put the bowl outside the front door. It's gonna all be gone, but whatever.
It's gone already. I think you'll find.
It wasn't. A few people already come by and it's still there.
Wow. Good luck. That's crazy. All right. Well, let's move on to another henchman that you can theoretically hire because there's some synergy here. Although I think she's probably, even though I think she is objectively a better henchman than the rest of the henchmen, I don't know what we got. So we got Anna Lovelace. So like you're sometimes you're gonna hire her because Gravity Well is just nuts in certain matchups for sure. She draws you cards with steadied opponent during her activation sometimes. Hostile work environment is also a fucking hell of an aura. The reason that she's here is only partially because I went into the Malifaux crew builder and searched mindless zombies and added everything that showed up to the tier list, which means she has a zombify trigger effectively. But also I think that there is some play with remote detonators because bonus action remote detonating a mindless zombie this is somewhere is fucking hilarious. And this is the perfect use case for it. And like her melee is pretty good. 2/4/5s that you can buff with Glimpse the Void, like Stoneable Glimpse the Void, or built-in Siphon Life. So it's a 2/4/5, but it's really a 3/5/6. It is rad. Haku, are you ever doing this? What do you think? Outside of the tactic situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want the extra draw card. Other times the map is perfectly good for a gun, and so you're fine with that. Especially one obviously like Norse friendly fire, so the zombies there. The Gravity Well really, I mean, it gets it a little into the tech beat, but it really prevents some people from leaving your zombie horde. So you have them like walled off with zombies. Sometimes they'll just try to fly through it or bonus action plays or whatever shenanigans people have, and you're just like, nope, stand there, get hit, be sad.
Yeah, and
then every now and then you get to drop scheme
environment.
markers because sometimes you need to drop scheme markers.
Yeah,
not as often when the TIERLIST because she. As long as the zombie survived one round, they'll be able to do it on her bonus. But that's the only realistic way you're getting scene markers down, so it's not terrible for.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I like reaping people in a hostile work environment's a hell of a drug. I forgot to say that. So Dice, what do you think, Jeff? Do you like Anna?
So I actually played a little bit of Stuck at the beginning of 3rd edition, and Anna was pretty great. I think Gravity Well and Hostile Work Environment are top tier. She also is the first character here that has significant lore presence, which is cool, except that she fucked over my man Hoffman. So screw that lady.
Ooh, how did she fuck over Hoffman?
I'm going Burr.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a wild take. But how did she fuck over Hoffman? Like, what's the... I know generally, like, she was, like, a lady hanging out. She has a sister, Hannah Lovelace, and they chill, and then, like...
Do you remember Ryle?
Yeah.
Well, Anna is why Ryle is the way Ryle is.
What?
Yeah.
What? So okay, so like Ryle got fucked up in the train accident, and then Anna surgered him to
Well, it
death.
turns out it wasn't a train accident. It was a train attack.
Oh, and Anna was responsible for it.
Uh-huh.
Who was behind it?
Anna.
Just Anna was like, "Fuck this train in particular."
Anna did it to get at Ryle because she was jealous and claimed that he stole her work at university.
Did he?
And we don't know, but probably not.
I don't know, dude. This seems like Ryle's a son of a bitch who fucking deserved everything he got. But
she also killed the character in that story whose name I can't think of off the top of my head. The story with Emmeline Belrose and Hoffman and Ryle, and when all the things go down. And the main character of that story, she kills her at the end. So fuck Anna.
wow.
Is Ryle dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He was just an
Just wanted to
automaton.
double check.
He was an automaton at the end, and then Hoffman, I think, put him out of his misery and like let the flesh die or something like that. Yeah. Right at in the second ed, third ed switch, fiction.
Yeah.
It's so poetic.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Also, fuck Ryle. He deserves what he got. Tyler, what do you think?
Wow. I quit the stream.
Yeah, that's fine.
Zombies. From the card is stacked.
Yeah.
Armor 1. I don't think anybody brought that up yet.
She also has armor.
Right.
And it's just all 6s.
Yeah.
Like highest combined total stats in Rezzers, not counting the rider. Like.
So the great, I can see some pretty cool stuff happening with great assignment. Haku was saying earlier, dropping schemes at range. You can totally use zombies for this. For great assignment 6 inches away. So there's a little bit of versatility there. Other than that, I'm not really looking. I don't know, actually. I kind of thought she was super. I got really excited when I heard you guys talking about her, but I'm kind of in middle of the road now.
Yeah.
I'm on brain. Brain?
Yeah, I'm feeling.
Wow. She's mostly a tech pick. There's just so much better synergy in the zombie universe that she really is mostly.
I think the thing that's tearing me away from a higher score is her cost.
Yeah.
She's great in keyword. But yeah, I'm gonna go brain.
Yeah, I think based on the evidence, we kind of have to go brain. I want her to be higher, quite frankly, and I do love the remote detonator bit. But every single list for this, like you're automatically starting off with like 40 stones, like basically 40 stones worth of models already. So
yeah, with her, I would definitely want to find a way to throw staggered on an enemy remote detonate because 3 damage on a TN13 move is nasty, plus injured, and it draws you a card and generates a corpse. I mean, there is so much value for a 4.
It is really helpful in that it kills the target and isn't one of the remove the target situations. So yeah, the zombie dies and you still get the corpse out of it and you draw a card. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Situational. Especially because we'll get to it. You need zombies to die.
Yeah, and you do need them to die. Which we'll get to shortly. But yeah, let's talk your boy Toshiro. Now, I'm gonna start out with saying that I tried him a couple times, but I haven't been playing him lately because I like other things more. Initially, I didn't really understand the first game, and then the second game, he does have a lot of versatility, but I'm not sure that it's necessary. Nonetheless, we'll talk about him. So he's got terrifying hard to wound, like you do. When he dies, he gives an upgrade that does some stuff. It's actually kind of helpful because it gives you the plus flip aura leadership to somebody, which I have put on the rider twice now, and I really like that. The thing that's so the plus flip aura is kind of the big deal of why he's rad. He has actions that are good too, but when taking melee actions, friendly minions with an aura 6 get a plus flip to their duels. So triple card flipping zombies base meleeing people within aura 6 of him and Asura Rotten, or if you put the upgrade on Asura Rotten after he dies, just Asura Rotten. Double plus flips to mindless zombies. Let's go. Like for instance, when you activate them during her bonus action. Who could say? It's a lot of nonsense. I don't know, strictly speaking, that it's required. But it is a lot of nonsense. He has Bloated Stench. I don't think that's relevant. He can give minions focus with one of his actions, which is cool. And let them move a little bit, which sometimes is really helpful, but it is an action on his end. His 2 bonus actions are Foul Mouth Motivation, which is great for healing the rider or someone else and focusing them. I've really just pretty much used it exclusively on the rider. And then His other bonus action summons an Ashigaru, which is a zombie. I mean, it's not a zombie, but like you can summon it, and it is a dude. It just requires a 12 of crows, or a stone. And then his melee action is like a 2/4/5, which is fine. Haku, what's your Toshiro take? What are you doing with him? What's your deal?
Brain.
Yeah, I know your brains.
Toshiro's my boy.
Yeah.
Toshiro's my boy. I don't know why they do my boy like this and nerf the crap out of him, but he's still my boy. Realistically, should you hire this guy? And the answer is he's perfectly good in the zombie keyword list. Leadership really does matter. You never want to cheat cards for Mylan Zombies, so having them have a second plus flip is actually pretty relevant and comes up a lot more than you think. Summoning the Ashigaru is also huge because, as pointed out, Asura Rodden is actually decently frail. I mean, we can pretend that like the hard to kill and the heal keeps her alive, but yeah, like a Huggy comes in, just like knobs the hell out of you, or a Peacekeeper. So having that take the hit model has actually been pretty clutch in a couple of things. The downside is like there's no like consistent way to get the 12. You're not too blown out if you miss the 12. You're perfectly fine with foul mouth motivating and going forward, hitting things, getting that leadership aura to the front line. You're always going to have a ton of minions. Zombies are going to survive through, and if they don't survive through turns, you're pretty happy. Because that means you have a lot of corpse markers on the middle of the map, and that is spooky for your opponent, especially if those are by Toshiro. So, deceptively strong in zombies, very strong in McMorning, where you can actually consistently get the 12 and do things, especially with the new zombie list in McMorning. But other than that, no, probably a terrible model.
Yeah, I mean, there's no world that without doing some cute zombie nonsense, you're ever hiring this model, even in Yanlo. Like maybe,
his only
maybe
spot is
Yanlo,
McMorning anymore, because the flesh constructs get the positive.
Yeah, which is good, but like, I don't know, dude. I think he's fine. I think that I would say that your opinion of him is probably like 70% actually the card and 30% the rose-tinted glasses of Toshiro dominating in second edition.
You mean third edition?
I mean pre-nerf third edition, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. So like, look, no, Jeff, Toshiro. Have you ever seen this model on the table?
I actually played him quite a bit in second edition, back when he was more of the orange persuasion, and he could summon 2 different kinds of models. He could get the little robot doggos, which was cool. This edition, definitely not. No.
He used to be able to summon the Kamainu. That's wild.
It was, I think it's just a different suit for the action. I think it was an upgrade you had to buy for him though. It was like an extra point or two, but. Yeah, so he was cool. Otherwise, he was very similar. I like him thematically. I think a lot of his abilities work with his theme well. I think he has a fun backstory. I actually really like the model. I think the model is pretty sweet, but I don't think I would ever run him. So
yeah, can we get like a 2-point upgrade that can only go on Reser models that can summon other models that allow them to summon flesh constructs? You know?
Yeah, I'll tell Jonathan Weird. He'll do that.
Just bring back Mwahahahaha, please.
Yeah, Jeffrey Q Weird. All right.
Definitely would be balanced in third edition for sure.
That was Nicodem's thing. What is it? What was it? It was just
it wasn't Nicodem's. It was a default generic Reser upgrade.
Oh, and that let people summon mindless zombies.
It let you essentially. It was riders summon all Mylan zombies within Mylan zombie for each course marker within 6, but they didn't get to activate. So you just summoned, like 13, 15 Mylan zombies because there was no model limit.
It was real bad.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Let's not do that. Todd,
I'm putting him in brains.
Oh,
because I don't care about gameplay. That's not why I'm here. Yeah. So
wait, hold on.
Also, legitimately, if you try a Sura Master, just try running him. He's actually really fun when it works.
Yeah, so Jeff, I just want to confirm, you said brains, or did you say brains?
Brains.
Oh, interesting. Okay, and Haku obviously is in brains, as he espoused. I'm kind of more brains, honestly. I don't think I'm quite brain. If it were anything else, it'd be Burr. Tyler, what do you think? Toshiro. Talk some sense
Man.
into this madman.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities here for shenanigans. It's again,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it and damn man, it just sucks that everything is taxed at out a keyword. But yeah, just give me a freaking little gasser as a zombie summon one of these days, and those models would see the board.
Oh, that'd be dope.
I
And it would be
know.
pretty thematic with him with
Let
the bloated stench and everything. Oh,
so I'm thinking ahead. I'm looking ahead at McMorning. McMorning wants the poison. You got bloated stench here. His reliquary gives bloated stench and leadership as well.
Yeah,
So
bloated stench
there's a
is the only thing
ton.
it gives. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a ton here. I'm putting him top tier. So give me that.
This
number
isn't
one
what
spot.
I needed from you, Tyler. Oh
is
Jesus.
what you get.
All right.
Shenanigans.
He's going
This
to
guy's
the bottom of brains at all
Brandon's
times.
over here bringing our fun down, being like, he's not competitively viable, guy.
He's
I don't
not.
care. I want that one like
People tune into this
14-step
channel.
combo that destroys everything, and then you lose the game because you didn't.
That's what your channel's for,
I've
Tyler.
used
People
what I
tune
want.
into this
and
channel.
Ryder to flip my deck three
No,
times. I had
we'll-
to shuffle.
Yeah,
I
we'll
had
get to that.
shuffle
No,
three
save that for Ryder.
times.
Save that for Ryder. We'll get to that. I've done that too. I had to shuffle 3 times. But okay, all right. Well, that's Toshiro's there. Posted up. Let's at least bring up something that we can agree is a burr. Mortimer. Okay, so Mortimer is technically a henchman that you could technically hire if you're playing technically Rezzers, and he technically costs 8 stones, although that's more of a theoretical concept. I don't know that anybody's ever tested that. Except for Joe. I will say Joe likes to hire him because in this specific bit he has Chatty. And I agree that he does have Chatty. That is the end of the things that I agree about on this model. He's got Manipulative, he's got Hard to Kill, he's got Chatty, Regen 1, and he counts as Zombie for hiring, which is why he's here. He's got a Shovel, that's bad. Its triggers are fine. He's got Decay, which is really good, but it doesn't have any triggers. He has Ezekiel's action, Fresh Meat, which he had first in fairness, but no one cares. So friendly undead models within line of sight can push up to 3 inches towards the target, which takes like 15 minutes to resolve in this list. With a delay trigger on it, which is fine. And then he's got Grave Robber, so he can drop Corpse Marker anywhere within range, and on a trigger, summon a Mindless Zombie, and then lose the Corpse Marker. So effectively, it's a 6 of Crows to summon a zombie, but it's his bonus action, so that's kind of bad. And he's 8 points. I'm not hiring this model. Haku?
Burr, next.
Burr. We did it. Jeff, what do you think? Morty? This was
Listen.
what's his face's henchman, yeah, Nicodem?
Let me tell you a story about
Holding
Nick.
Nico, knee, and it's very depressing. Let him out.
Oh, that's what you meant the other day when you said that.
Yeah.
Oh, I googled Nico Ni, and it's an anime, and I was like, I don't understand.
Sorry,
this
I'm a
algorithm.
weeb, and I've been memeing on that since M2E.
Yep, wild. Well, I mean, we never talk about Nicodem because this is the one time a year that you're allowed to talk about Nicodem, I guess. All right, Jeff, what were you gonna say? You're gonna tell us a story about Nicodem and how?
Let me tell you a story about Nicodem. Okay, everybody's upset that Nicodem's dead. I say fuck that guy. He got what he deserves. I hope Kevin listens to this and cries sweet tears. Burr.
Wild. And Nicodem famously currently resides in a pocket watch with a soulstone in it that's in Mortimer's pocket, assuming he didn't hawk it for like beer.
He probably hogged it for beer.
Nice. I would love the idea of Nicodem just like fully respawning because some artifact gets bumped up against the soulstone that Mortimer like hawked for like lunch money or something.
It's almost certainly going to
like
be
a
what happens.
Malifaux pawn shop, and then Nicodem's just like, and then the pawn shop guy's like, Tyler, Mortimer, are you anywhere above Burr on this guy?
Maybe, and only because, and one step above. I'm convinced this is one of those models that Fresh Meat can do something in. I truly hate that he's moved 4. It's the worst thing.
Oh,
ever.
I'm sorry. I didn't even
Pretty
mention that
depressing.
part. He's moved 4.
It's total bullshit and not necessary. Why?
Is he
But-
injured?
Maybe.
Yes,
I don't know.
Nico's holding him down.
Yeah, exactly. He's holding him back. I feel like there's an opportunity again with out of activation movement, undead, right? So when you're thinking undead, we're not just thinking mindless zombies. We're thinking dead riders. We're thinking heck Molly. We're thinking undead masters. Just generally. So I think there's something there, and there may be a tag team between him and Ezekiel. Ezekiel is superior in every single way and cheaper.
Yeah, and 2 points cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the only reason why I think he could be Brain, because there is some opportunity, but it's only for one action on his card.
Yeah, fresh meat specifically.
Yes, fresh meat specifically, and situationally decay, but only because fresh meat is 10 inches. Other than that, I mean, you have plenty of opportunity for Mindless Zombies everywhere else. You don't need this guy, so I'm good with him being a burr.
Yeah, I think so as well. Sad, but like, I don't know, dude. Let's talk Ezekiel. I've already put him where he goes. Sorry, hold on.
Yeah,
that's not true.
Valuable.
I've already put him where he goes. So yeah, let's talk Ezekiel. All right, I'll be a little bit less couth. Uncouth? No, hold on. Uncouth is bad, so couth is good. I'll be a little bit less couth is what I want to say when I'm saying. No, I want to be a little less uncouth. God damn it, what a word. All right, Ezekiel, look.
So Ezekiel is a 5/5/5 model. He has intuition, and he summons zombies. Everything else doesn't really matter.
You're on crack, but okay. So look, he has Protected Undead, which is good. He has Pen Stench, doesn't matter. That ability has never once been resolved in the history of Malifaux. Every time it's about to be resolved, somebody's like, wait, engaged or engaging? And then we read engaging, and then it's not. And then it doesn't matter.
Don't remind me.
Literally, that exact rules interaction has come up every single time I've ever been asked a question about penetrating stench in any competitive Malifaux event I've ever ran, including like
card.
ours, multiple Adepticons.
Your model doesn't have engagement. Okay, cool. I guess this doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
This is the perfect card to explain that rule, because he doesn't have engagement. So the fact that he has penetrating stench and no engagement range, I mean,
yeah,
it works for him then. Woo!
All right.
Yeah,
it's absolutely.
So okay, can I just say, fresh meat with better triggers, one of which summons a mindless zombie. So you're already a million times better already.
Yeah.
He has Healing Energy, which is an 8-inch 1/2/3 heal, which is insane, but also has Debt of Gratitude, which can situationally, because this is a tactical action, force your opponent to, for basically no difference, lose a scheme marker, and it's built in. It's insane. Zombie Apocalypse is great. Suitless 6 summons his mindless zombie. I remember when I was in the Nova conference, and they spoiled this guy ahead of time, and if you've seen a blurry cell phone image of this guy on the internet, it was from my cell phone, because I was the one who posted them on the internet, and I was shitting myself like, holy fuck, I'm gonna play only Rezzers for the rest of time, and oh my god, this guy's good. And then his bonus action occasionally does a mini Lovelace blow up a thing, and it also gives out Shielded, which is super good. I usually will shield the rider on turn 1 if I have nothing else to do. And its main use actually is just blowing the bad card that you flipped with the intuition, I think. But Ezekiel's rad. Haku, where are you at? What are the things?
No, yeah, this model is insane.
Model's crap.
I don't know why they gave him intuition, but okay. For 6 soul stones, you have to justify not hiring this guy.
Yeah, I want like a 3-page, and there had better be a thesis statement and supporting evidence for why you're not hiring this model in any zombie-themed tier list. Period.
So Brain.
Yeah, obviously Brains. Haku. Defective Dice. Mr. Jeff, tell me.
Yeah, I think he's a top 3 gremlin in the game. I think it's a.
All right, sorry, Bert.
Sweet model. I reminded you.
No, he's
sorry. I see one tall guy because they're on top of each other. So
yeah,
he has living characteristics.
Yeah, it's two gremlin in a trench coat.
Yeah, it looks like a human to me. I don't see.
The bottom one is Jigsaw from the Saw movies.
He should be size 3 because the undead gremlin should be size 2, and then he's on top of him, but somehow he's size 1.
Well, no, the model is living, so that's an alive gremlin.
Got it.
So it should be size 2.
Being carried around by an undead one though. So I'm on Jeff's side, size 3.
Yeah. He's a really fun character. I think the sculpt is fantastic. I think he hints at places that Bayou stuff could go that would be pretty interesting in the future of the lore. He's obviously bonkers on the table. I think 10 out of 10 brains.
Yeah. I will say, just from a lore perspective, I think that there will never be a bigger fuck you to Gremlin player. I mean, Bayou players than the head of one of the Gremlin families just not being hireable in Bayou, which is...
Oh, listen. If he's gonna have lore relevance, he can't be in Bayou. That's the rules. We don't make the rules. We just follow.
And he is in 100% more stories than in the Ashes book than any Gremlin character, other Gremlin character, I should say. Zip is mentioned once, sorry, but I think if I remember, Ezekiel has.
I don't think they say Zip. I think they just refer to his ship. I don't think they actually.
Oh yeah, they don't even actually mention Zip.
His name might show up. I don't remember.
Yeah. It's great. And then like, oh dude, I hope that what you're insinuating, Jeff, is that the 10th Reser faction is the Getro family. That would be so fucking rad. I don't know. If
well, there's a lot of ways they could go with it. You know, there's obviously a lot of people have been calling for a Bayou Resers crew, which obviously he would be, if not, you know, promoted to master, he'd probably be promoted to master, honestly, but if not promoted to master, he'd certainly be a part of that crew if it ever came down the road. It also potentially could tie in with the dragon, which is this human who's part tyrant that is also doing necromancy in the Bayou and teaching the Bokoras and things like that. So there's a lot of interesting places that could go in the future. We'll have to see, though.
Yeah, it is interesting. But one thing is sure, Ezekiel has heard the whisper because he has intuition. So, Tyler, what do you think? Ezekiel? Are you going to Ezekiel?
He's everything I've ever wanted. I can't believe he's 6 stones, has intuition. So you can potentially have 3 intuition models in your crew.
Yeah, that was one of the questions that I think it was Chase, who's like a local TO, and his husband is John, who's on the design team. I'm pretty sure Chase was like, "Do you guys see any problem with having 3 models with intuition at in Resers?" And both they like looked at each other real quick, and they were like, "Nah."
The best thing, yeah. I could go on and on and on and on. I love the hell out of him. Use him before he gets hit, because he's gonna get adjusted. I almost can certainly guarantee it. He goes brains exactly where he is.
Yeah, there's no world. I would put him in front of Asura Rotten, quite frankly, because I think he's better. But this is like the Asura Rotten keyword tier list, so we won't. But
he's not better.
You're
He legitimately actually just like hiring in the game. He's not better. Asura is insane right now.
Asura's good in like 2 use cases outside of her crew tier list thing. Ezekiel is just like a 6-cost model that can summon roadblocks with intuition. I think
but he summons them in base contact. That's so much worse. They're not really roadblocks when they're in base contact. You have to get them up the board, summon them, and then move them. Realistically better the healer.
Well, because you intuition and then you get to fresh meat against them. Oh,
yeah,
but I guess
that
you
means
don't.
Then they're not moving then? Because if you fresh meated them, they're not moving. It's legitimately hard to get his zombies off the board.
Yeah.
Which is why I normally use his zombies as resources. Like McMorning, you poison them, eat them for soul stones, blah blah blah.
Yeah, or in Asura Rotten, he goes first zombies, and those are the zombies you use to ping Cyber too.
And then like mid game, he's doing shenanigan, heal, removes game markers, just make your guys not die, or more corpse markers to keep the McMorning engine running. But
yeah, you're not wrong. Fair.
Asura has a lot more versatility in just absolutely murdering people and actually summoning roadblocks in front of the people you want to actually be annoyed by them.
Yeah, and anywhere with 8 inches is an insane fucking range. For
not just 8 inches. Remember, because you could do 6 inches on both of them, bonus action, and then move 3 charge. So it's more like 12.
You can get them in a single action within 12, but I mean, you just flat out summon them within 8, which is nuts. But they can go further than that. All right, let's talk the most bullshit. The most bullshit. This is the most Tyler model in this list. So if you haven't read the Dead Rider, if I were in post here, I would black out everything on the card except for the second trigger on his Rebel and Death action.
I think we just do that. If you haven't read the Dead Rider, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's also fair. Read this card. So he's a rider, so he's unimpeded, hard to wound, costs 11 points, is ruthless, and has 2 his suit-based things, which his is crows. So he has a defensive trigger for 1 less damage, which can't reduce to 0, so 1 less to a minimum of 1 for every crow in the duel, and he gains these tokens. At the start of each round, he gains the turn number in tokens, and then you can spend them in any duel after declaring triggers to add crows. When declaring triggers. So after cheats, before you declare triggers to add crows. So he gets 1 on turn 1 and 2 on turn 2, which means you'll have 3 of them on turn 2. If you have a crow, that gets you up to the magic number, which is 4. There's no other way to get additional crows on him. But His melee attack is insane. It's a 2-inch 3-4-5. It's a 2-inch 3-4-5 with a crow trigger that he can add infinite crows to, basically. Well, very finite, but you know what I mean. Where you push him 2 inches in any direction for every crow in its final duel total, and then push the target into base contact with this model. So if there's roadblocks, it's not that great. But if there aren't roadblocks, and you just, I don't know, let's say move 7, charge 7, have a 2-inch melee range, and then reap for like 5 crows, push him 10 inches back, you can very, very effectively, possibly longest distance in the game, kidnap someone. And like Haku said earlier, kidnapping them onto your side that you're about to summon 100 zombies around and then ruin someone's day is insane. The way that he summons zombies, if you look at his Revel and Death action, he also has Ride With Me, so he's really good for unpack as well. But his Revel and Death action is enemy models with Impulse 6 gain injured, and then he has 3 separate abilities. The 5 crow one, which requires you to have a bunch of tokens, at least 4, does 2 damage to enemies, ignoring hard to kill. You get a Soulstone for everything you kill. The 3 crow one lets you get an attack action targeting a model within 6. Remember, that is an attack generated from a trigger, so you can't declare reap on it, so that's kind of sad, but boy, that would be wild. And then lastly, the one that is like the combo-y piece of the card, 4 crows for the Dead Hate the Living, which you can do every turn of the game after 2, starting on 2, if you have a 6 of crows or higher in your hand. Is summon a mindless zombie into base contact with any number of corpse markers with Impulse 6, then remove those corpse markers. Each mindless zombie summoned this way can then activate immediately after this model's activation ends, one at a time. To my knowledge, it is the only thing in the game that breaks the chain activation rules. Also,
Correct.
If they're activating, it's during their activation, which means they get pack tactics. So if you've just summoned 10 zombies, which is very hard to do to summon all 10, but assuming that you have, it is theoretically possible that many of your zombies could have up to +9 to all of their stats, which makes their melee attack a stat 12, which hits most things on ones, most times. Maybe not most times, but hits most things pretty much all the time, with plus flips presumably from all the other shit that you do. The trick is that you summon them all at the same time, and so you can't. The reason it's really hard and why we said a couple times that you need zombies to die is the total number of zombies that you can have in play is 10 ever. So if you have, let's say, 5 zombies, you could summon 5 zombies and then they would get to activate off of those zombies, because you remember zombies you can treat as a corpse marker. But you can't like have 5 corpse markers, have 5 zombies, summon 10 zombies on them, because then you would have 15 zombies in play. So the trick is getting your zombies to go and then get killed to leave corpse markers behind, or generating corpse markers other ways to summon them off of the corpse markers. But it is perfectly valid and exceptionally strong to summon them off of other zombies, especially zombies that are at low health or have conditions or have been pummeled on by things, because they will then immediately get to activate. And so most times that I have used this ability with this crew, I have gotten all 10 zombies in play. Not to say that I've ever summoned 10 zombies. I think my hard track record is 8 at once. But I just had 2 zombies left, so that was it. Unfortunately, that's once somebody knows what this does, it will either be too late and you'll have won the game off of that single bonus action resolving once, or they will immediately do everything they can to kill this model and you won't get to do it anymore. And anybody who's seen this coming will probably do that ahead of time, because this guy's fucking nuts. And although he's defense 6, hard to wound, 9 health, and can lower damage, he's still kind of squishy, which is why we have everybody to heal him. Haku. I know that was pretty concise. I think I covered most of the things, but what are you dead riding? What's your deal? Brains, right?
No, he is the reason a Surarodin probably can be a master, and is a very serious competitive threat.
Yeah.
You literally, as you kind of pointed out, he can die. You just hide him turn 1. He walks 7. You can go 14 inches up the board and then bonus action. You're not caring about taking his attack action. Yeah. You literally just care about getting your aura to cover enough corpse markers to make that satisfying. And like, they're full actions. This isn't a Surarodin's, they can move and then take an action. No, if you summon 5, you're taking 10 attack actions.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, they're full actions. Not only 10 actions,
beyond game ending.
10 actions that you can do a brains at any point during those actions, before the first one, in between, or after.
Yeah.
So you can like hit something, kill it, then brains to another thing and attack it.
Yeah.
And they all have plus flips, possibly 2 plus flips.
Yeah, so this is one of the reasons you can bring Tosh. You get the double plus flips. It's hilarious. Flipping 3 cards with these zombies, great. Pack mentality works on terrifying duels, so it's really funny when you almost pass a terrifying duel with the Black Joker. Haven't had it happen yet, but got really close.
Yeah.
I think I passed it with a 2. Yeah. It really hilarious stuff you can pull off with that. Realistically, I say pack mentality. I've been getting like consistent 9s on their attack stats. It's generally pretty hard to get more than +3. So I would say probably be satisfied at taking attacks at stat 7.
Yeah. Stat 7 zombies ain't nothing to fuck with. Much like the Wu-Tang Clan.
Part of the problem is your zombies block loss to your other zombies because they all have to be in base contact. So you have to it actually is like really hard strategically planning out how you take your tags to take the most value out of all pack mentalities.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just going to have to like charge a guy, attack, and then your last activation is brain, so you can just just
get
whoop
the fuck
your guy
out.
around back so another zombie can come in and attack where you just were.
Yeah. Charge, attack, brains to the back, and then just keep the zombie conga line going is like clutch play.
So
oh boy.
I think my highest was also 8. I'm waiting for the high life of getting 10 all at once, taking 20 actions. Hasn't happened yet, but goddamn, I'm hoping. If your opponent has mass corpse removal, it's going to be obviously a lot harder. You keep the zombies up more, you're going to be using them to die, but even that, it's still very strong. Yeah. Just 3 zombies is ridiculously strong. You can eat through henchmen with them, because remember, they all have infect. Like, each hit can really stack up damage with the poison.
Every single hit adds a poison, which means, like, in addition to, like, hitting them for 1, like, 5 or 6 times, you're probably going to be doing 3 damage to them in the end phase if they even survive it. And, like, oh boy, I just can't. Jeff, what do you think? Zombie? Dead Rider?
All that sounds really gross. I hadn't considered some of the horrible shenanigans you can do with that, and I don't want to play against that. That sounds miserable. I think
my first opponent in Texas felt very much the same way when I did it.
I bet.
We're unsurprised, Haku.
I've been victimized by the Hooded Rider before. I've tried to make the Arcanist Rider work, and it's never really been worth stones for me. So I have a little bit of rider envy, I guess.
Yeah.
I think this is the worst of the 4 models for the riders. I don't love it. I don't know. It's just
are we talking the normal model or the puppet model?
The normal one.
Oh, I think the puppet model is pretty good.
I don't remember what it looks like off the top of my head.
Oh, he's got a little hood and a little scythe.
Okay.
That's all.
I'm sold.
Nice. Yeah, I can't imagine that you're disagreeing after all that with brains.
I mean, am I ranking it based on how good it is in the game or how much I like it?
I don't know. Whatever you want, man. Normally, it's the first one, but not in this tier list.
I'm going to
go crazy.
I'm going to go brain.
You're going to go brain?
Brains.
Brains?
Yeah.
All right. Tyler, I apologize that we took all of the shenanigans from you.
You kept saying my keyword. I was over here twitching.
Yeah. Every time we have the deal is that anytime any of us say shenanigans in a podcast, we have to give Tyler a quarter. So I just Venmoed him $18.
Yeah, our out of keyword tax of using shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say the one thing I consistently forget on this model is that the Revel, I'm so excited to summon 4 or 5 zombies. I just forget that everybody in 6 gets injured 1.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been talking about how the craziness and the shenanigans we can do here, but I don't remember hearing us talk about injured 1. So not only is that swinging your different, making it easier for your zombies to hit.
Yeah, your stat 4 zombies are just base 5.
Yeah, they're base 5, and then they're coming in with pack mentality to hit even harder. So yeah, I mean, you said everything else. He's exactly where he needs to be. He's the perfect model for all the crazy shenanigans. I can't get enough of him. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, dude, this guy's rad. Strong recommend to this tier list. You need the Asura Rotten box and the Dark Rider box, and then the Ezekiel box, or the Dead Rider box, and then the Ezekiel box. You can do with any of the other stuff if you want, but that's the core of it. And it's not that expensive for a crew, and it's pretty bullshit. Let's talk about some more reasonable models now before we get too worked up about the Dead Rider. So the next one we have is, oh god damn it. All right, hold on. It's fine. I have this already. I had to add it already, but now I'm going to add it again. Oh, that was actually pretty painless. I thought that was going to be a huge deal. Let's talk about Bête Noire. So this lady, we've hit the Enforcer level of the tier, and this will probably go a bit quicker because most of these models are bad. Well, I guess there's only 4, so maybe not. But anywho, Bête Noire. So she's fast. She runs around the board. She buries herself. There's some contention about her Rise Again ability, but it's not really contentious in that it's like hard to interpret what it does if you have read the rulebook. It's contentious in that it doesn't really seem like it should do that, and a lot of people complain that that's bullshit. But that's like, it's Malifaux. I don't know. Every time I bring this up, somebody's always like, we gotta errata this lady, and get in the comments if you think that's wrong. But basically, she so her Rise Again ability, if she's buried, she can target a corpse marker at Northern range and line of sight. Has to do that because she's buried. Unbury this model into base contact with the target, then remove the target, and this model may take a charge action. So it can be taken while buried. It can only be taken while buried, which means you can take it while you're not buried. If you take it while you're not buried, you target a corpse marker, do as much of the ability resolution as you can, because unburying the model is not part of the cost of this action. The effect is unbury, and if you can't unbury her, she doesn't do that part, and then you remove the corpse marker, and then she takes a charge action. That's it. You can disagree with that as a conceptual basis, but that is functionally how it works, and there's no discussion. It's very clear in the rules that that's how it works. Not saying that that's good or bad, but so if she's unburied, she can just charge as her bonus action if there's a corpse marker, which there will be because there's 700 zombies. And importantly, it kills them if you need to. It doesn't kill them in that you get to keep a corpse marker. It just removes the zombie in line of sight. So like it's not as good if you don't have a bunch of corpse markers already for the Dead Rider synergy, but it does do that. She also has Trail of Gore as a bonus action, and she's got Paired Knives, which is like a 2/3/4 with Crit Strike, Mutilate, and Bury herself as a trigger that has a built-in plus flip. So she's got a lot of synergy. She's really fast. She's got Pounce and some of the Scarlet stuff. She's also Red Chapel, which is relevant for a couple of the for Madame Sybil a little bit, and for the 3 Red Chapel minions you might hire. So that's rad. I, generally speaking, really only hire this model when it's like a schemy type thing that I can do. But the synergy is insane. Haku, are you ever taking Bête Noire in this keyword?
Yeah, I've done it. Sometimes you just need like a multiple AP model that can like run really far to a corner and be fine. Especially because you just have so many free walking around course markers that even if they do get the bury off, then most other crews, and the reason why you didn't really like her is because she'd get stuck buried or she gets stuck unburying in a very annoying spot. And this time you can actually just unbury in a perfectly fine spot. Trail of Gore is really strong in this GG, so even if you're not taking the Rise Again to, get your free charge, you can, just get victory points by eating other scheme markers to go do things. So she definitely has a very valid existence in this crew, and any crew that generates a lot of course markers. If you need like anti-scheming, need to go to corners, I would say like it's not ballots. What's the strat that puts the marker in the
corner?
On the wall? Yeah.
Stuff the ballots does, but also.
Oh, it is ballots. Okay, yeah. Sometimes you just need a guy to go to like the very farthest corner to just like vote sometimes, and like it could have to be her.
Yeah, I mean also sometimes the mask one where people get to place their own markers.
Yeah, powerful, right?
Yeah.
Bombs?
No, the strat. No.
Oh,
no, bombs is the tome one.
The intel one?
Cloak and Dagger. There we go. Yeah, Cloak and Dagger, you can place them wherever you want, so sometimes you'll see them in the corners. And getting to corners faster than opponents is a great way to do that super well.
And also having, you kill their corner guy, and then if they try to kill you, you can just whoop out.
Yeah, if they punch you, you just fade away. is pretty rad. Jeff, what do you think? Bet Noir. Also, are you feeling normal Bet Noir, puppet Bet Noir, or translucent Bet Noir?
Always translucent. Slurpy but noir, objectively correct.
Wow.
I have
I'll go brain with Lovelace.
Brain?
Counterpick.
Yeah. Hmm.
I go translucent Bet Noir. She's pretty cool. Interesting character. Actually has a story that she is featured in, which is unusual for a character like that.
Oh, what's her deal?
Fun mechanics. She's just a murder lady.
Yeah, like you do.
Yeah, like you do. Fun mechanics. I think it's really interesting when there's like one-off mechanics like that that are pretty unique to the character. So that's fun. I haven't played her, but I think positive twist on a stat 6 melee is spicy. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Especially when you can charge twice, or you can charge for a bonus rather.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd probably put her right in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, fair enough. Tyler, what do you think? Bet Noir?
I'm not enthusiastic about her. I think there's some pretty cool stuff you could probably do with Poisoned Fate and a target that you're going to mob with zombies, just to make it melt faster. So if you're really trying to take out a master or something like that, high value target.
Bro, can you imagine?
Right.
Oh my gosh.
And you're swinging at stat 8s, and they have to try and cheat to stay alive, but then they take 2 damage. So there is something there. I'm just gonna put her at brain.
Brain?
Behind Anna. Yeah,
Yeah,
Anna.
I think that's fair too. I think she's heavily situational. I think there are definitely like in cloak stuff, and maybe some like power ritual nonsense. She could probably score power ritual for you really easily. Maybe a new GG will change that dramatically, but I think I'm happy to see her in brain. Brain. Let's talk old Hob. This guy's old. He's a Hob. That's all you need to know. Next. No. Okay, old Hob's rad. He's got armor 2, wicked, and he's got a Hoffman's melee attack construction claw, Hoffman 2, which is very funny. It's unfortunate that it's the nerfed version of it, but yeah. He's got a stat 7 hurl corpse, which is insane and really funny in this zombie bullshit. And he has Candy's action temper tantrum to pulse out slow, with a trigger for take an attack or a trigger for territorial, which means he can't be moved. Or buried, and his actions are +1. So he's like Candy, Malisaurus, and Hoffman all wrapped into one. His bonus action lets him heal 1 for every corpse marker you move within 4, and he can drop a ski marker with the trigger. But the big deal, I think, and the reason why you might want him in this specific core list, outside of the stat 7 hurl corpse, which does an extra damage on a ram trigger, which is neat. Although then you have to have like zombies near him and not like in the thing, and it's fine. So he has What a Lovely Day in Raining Corpses. What a Lovely Day is when he suffers damage, push 4 towards them, up to 4 towards the model that damaged it. So he is pretty mobile if they want to punch him, but whenever he suffers damage from an enemy model, he drops a corpse marker anywhere within aura 6. So if you run an old Hob up into the middle of the field and they're like, shit, there's this big scary robot, and then they try and attack him, you just get a free 10 zombies with the rider. This was how I originally played this list, and I really liked it, but he's easy to trap because he's move 5, he's a 50 mil base, he's got armor 2, and he didn't die in any of those games, but I don't know. I'm not sure if this is worth it. Haku, what do you think, Hob?
So the 2 big things I think you're missing
Yeah.
is Ezekiel's models don't move forward, and Hurl Corpse is getting plus flips from Asura's bonus sometimes. Which can be insane. So the reason that's very good is for 2 main reasons. One, you always put the zombie on them, regardless of if you win or fail the duel. So it's just a free teleportation of a zombie that's within 2 of Old Hob, all the way 8 inches up the board. So that's really strong.
Sure.
And it also works if you attack your own guys with it. Because sometimes you just want to yeet a zombie forward, and you're perfectly fine if another zombie dies for that. So, you can try to... sometimes they live because you do min damage. Sometimes they live because they magically succeed the duel because you just don't relent. And Other times,
Yeah.
just get turned into base with their own zombies,
Yeah.
which just means you have a corpse marker further up the board for Ryder.
Yeah. It does do that. You're not wrong. Also, hey, Scarlet Widow, what's going on? How are you? We're doing this live stream. Sorry I missed you guys yesterday. I was really sad about it. But soon, I swear to God, I will come one of these days. Dylan really just spooked me out with the weird street name. That's a word I don't like. You can ask him about it. It'll be funnier. Yeah, I completely agree. That is rad. I do like horror corpses. It's neat. But he is 10 points, and I don't know that 10 points is worth that. But Jeff, what do you think? Hob, have you built yours yet?
I don't remember. I think so. I think I built it. I haven't painted it yet.
Yeah, it's a cool model, and it takes its whole corpse. The whole chassis is like dappled with like the dimples of like rust having eaten away at the metal.
Yes, you know what? I definitely have built it because I remember putting the spikes on the back. Yeah, definitely a sick model. I think unfortunately 10 stone models are often have this issue of being too expensive for what they do, but I think it's pretty sick. I love when they take stuff out of Through the Breach and bring it to the game, and this one kind of got its lore slightly adapted, which is interesting. I'm curious if that'll ever pop up again or if it'll just go away almost.
I know the story is like corpse pickers are just a thing, and this one is one that like didn't get its hardware reset and has just been around for a while and went rogue. That's like the general.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is interesting. They were employed by the guild originally to pick up corpses in the quarantine zone, but now this one is doing something else. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, Jeff. Trust me, he's still picking up corpses.
Well, but he's not working for the guild anymore. But I get it. I wouldn't work for the guild, so.
Yeah, same. We got that. All right. Well, Tyler, take us home. What do you think, Old Hob? Are you hobbing?
The shenanigan potential is high. I do really like Hurl Corpse. There's so much. I've messed around with the Corpse Curator and Hurl Corpse just specifically because you're just placing it in base regardless of whether or not you fail. And yeah, I was also going to make a comment about taking Ezekiel's zombies that come into base. We were talking about that problem.
Yeah.
He kind of solves that and just yeets him out of the way, or the Asura batteries that are down to 1 health. He can take care of that as well. I'm gonna put him up at brains with 3 Z's and see. I think there's a lot here, and I am determined to heal him 8 wounds on a bonus action one of these days.
Yeah. So Haku, you said brains.
I did 6.
6 Z's?
I healed him 6 with this bonus action.
That's the new. Yeah, it used to be the McMorning blood poisoning 5 heal on a bonus action was the best, but now this is the new bonus action best that I'm going to try and set
Wicked's
a goal
just
for.
really good. Like, remember, you're trying to like tar pit everyone, so you're hurling corpses forwards at them, getting the Ezekiel stuff forward, and then when they eventually get to like your midline, you just are there being annoying, and they're like, "Oh, I want to disengage." And you wicked hit them, and then you place them one
Wicked
between like 2
Wicked on
zombies.
2 inches.
Yeah.
At that, because
Or
he's got
you
the 2
wicked-
inch.
Yeah. Or you wicked hit them and dismember and get another corpse marker. Or you wicked hit them and puncture them and just 5 damage them out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
Just that
No,
7
I
inches,
think,
that's great.
I understand the hesitancy of the 10 soul stones, but it's truly some great stuff you guys can get value off of this guy.
yeah, I think I'm comfortable triple Z brainsing him. Brains. You know?
All right, I'll have to go do something real quick. Bring a puppy outside.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give my quick thoughts for everybody. Never, ever, ever hire this next model. And then I absolutely hate it. Despise. And then the one after that, same thing. It hurls corpses. It's really funny. You can just build a list with the 2 hurl corpses guys, set up the aura, and then just chuck a bunch of zombies at them. Is it good? No. Is it funny? Yes.
Wild. All right, we'll probably stall until you're back for enforcers. So let's take a look at the next enforcer then. The Grave Golem. I had them backwards. I put okay. This guy's a model, that's for sure. Again, he's here because he has like Hurl Corpse and because he has Zombify. But like this is a thing I've seen before in like reasonable bits. Mostly I've seen him before in Reva because Unearth is really good. So his demise immortal is that he is heals 4 and is buried. And then at the start of his activation, he can just unbury into a corpse marker, and that's not per turn, that's not per game, that's any number of times that he dies, unless they ignore demise or abilities. He just heals 4 and gets buried, and then when he activates, he comes back up. So he could die theoretically up to 2 times a turn, but like more if you're playing against Sonya. If you literally, Sonya could kill him 50 times in a turn and it wouldn't matter. What the thing that's sort of tricky is that putting him in a good place, and this solves that problem. He has a min 3 melee. It's just 1 inch because it's Huge Fist with Knock Aside and Zombify. He has Hurl Corpse, which is stat 5, unfortunately, but it still does exactly the same things. The difference here is there's a Clinging Dead trigger, so eat 2 corpse markers within 2 of the target, and then when resolving, the target gains Staggered and gets +1 damage for each removed corpse marker. So like that's kind of neat, for sure. But again, it's only stat 5. And then he has Final Rest, which is remove all scrap and corpse markers within range, and then choose a number of friendly models equal to the number of removed markers they each heal 1 within his line of sight. So he could theoretically heal the same number as Old Hob. He just has to do a different model each time, and they can all heal for 1. So he could heal like 20 zombies for 1, I guess, or 10 zombies for 1, I guess, but. I don't know that that's strictly speaking good. I don't think he's defense 4, he's move 5, willpower 4, and he's size 4. Also, he doesn't fit in my case. I had to break the like Weeping Angel looking statue off the top of him and magnetize it to go back on and separate him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Haku said he's bad. Don't ever hire him. But
No.
Oh.
That was Emissary.
That's
you
Emissary.
Had them switched.
Oh, I did have them switched. I'm sorry. Yeah, Haku.
Grave Golem, Holy Corpse. I will defend the fact, if you know you're against someone who doesn't have demise, this model can just slap, actually. Huge Fist is terrifyingly strong. Hurl Corpse matters a lot in your career now.
I just wish it weren't 5.
Yeah. It's also nice sometimes to be able to kill your enemy. Remember, it can be at a plus flip, which helps a little bit. And also, like, Cling the Dead actually helps you kill your own zombies sometimes, just set up for the rider turn. But it really comes down to like the strat. You just need a guy to stand next to. He's amazing at that because Demise Eternal. That doesn't even cost a card and will always constantly keep coming back. So he has his value.
Yeah.
Brain?
Brain? I could see Brain for sure. I don't think I'd be willing to Brains him because maybe if you take him with Old Hob, but even then,
it's funny. It's not good.
Yeah, all the same things also with its Hurl Corpse, right? That is a thing. But Jeff, what do you think? Grave Golem?
Yeah, I don't have strong feelings about him mechanically. I think that there should not be golems or Gaiman that are not elementals. So he gets a negative based on that. And I think they could have done more with this model. I feel like it was a little underwhelming for the concept. Like, I like the concept, but it's not great. And also, like you said, it's way too tall and that statue will break. So I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. All right. What if we errata mindless zombies to have a bonus action that they can take? That if at least 2 mindless zombies and 1 grave goo are near each other, regardless of who controls it, you could replace all of them with this grave golem. Then he gets to stay golem.
I love it. 10
and
out of 10.
It's really only relevant if you're playing against Jedza, but
both players get to activate it.
Oh no, I was thinking just the Rezer player, but
it's shared between both players, but it only activates 1 per turn. So
first person's like, I'm windmill slamming the grave golem button. Let's go. Yeah. That'd be an interesting mechanic for like a betrayer-y type model, but I don't like it.
No.
It's neat.
There's never a point in this game where you would ever have a hobby and a card that you would give control to the other person. This is your stuff that you paid money for. There's no way that's happening.
I mean, obey.
I mean, in the way that I was talking. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so what do you think, Tyler, about the golem? Obviously, the Hurl Corpse points still stick. Minus 2 stats, though, but...
Well, I personally hate Final Rest. I think it's a great, nuclear option if you're looking to try and remove all your zombies, but all that for a ping heal in line of sight is super strong, but it's just,
Yeah.
And whenever Grave Golem comes up in my brain, I'm like, why not Archie for the same cost?
Yeah.
He's got Terrifying 12 and Elite.
Yeah, but Archie doesn't have Hurl Corpse.
Yes, he
Yeah,
does.
just that.
He
Wait,
absolutely added stat 6.
does he? Oh
Yeah,
shit!
and a huge fist.
Pretend
Why is
Archie's
he
in
not
this
on
tier list, and
Never mind. How
okay.
did I forget about that?
You know what? I didn't search Hurl Corpse, and I should have, and that was my
Oh.
mistake.
I actually just forgot about it. So you could have 3. Oh my god, I'm building
I'm
this
just
list.
I'm just
3
saying,
Hurl
like,
markers.
the first video on my channel with the unpack with it includes Archie and McMorning because Archie doesn't get conditions in McMorning, so you don't have to worry about incidental poison. Anyway, moving on from that. As far as Grave Golem versus Archie, Grave Golem has the return mechanic going for it, regen 2 also, but it's still not something I would hire. I like the sculpt, even though it is super tall, size 4, I guess.
Yeah.
But I would put him in Burr.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go Brain.
Yeah. I think honestly, I think I'm gonna put him in Burr above.
So honestly, if I remembered Archie exists, I'm with you. I would have hired him instead of this guy.
Oh, Archie.
I hate hiring Archie, but whatever.
I mean, the same cost, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. No, and it's just a much better model. Even with like, I will kind of stand by the point that the demise is really nice for that the strats I'm talking about. Yeah, because there are a lot of strats where you just need a guy to be somewhere. Like sweating bullets is really funny with this guy, and it comes in handy that he's cost 10.
If you're doing man, if you're trying to unbury him as many times as you want in strategic locations, you got to go through 10 wounds. And if your opponent isn't doing that because they see that it's just going to be a waste of time, then you're going to have to do the work yourself. And at that point, you got a 50 mil roadblock.
Well, if he's in the strategic spot, then you don't mind that he's already there, right?
You're right.
Then he's just standing there chucking corpse markers at people because,
and
old Hob is popping them 6 inches out, so he can pop them next to this guy.
Yeah.
The other thing with Old Hob that we didn't touch on really was the ability for synergies with What a Lovely Day is not enemy only. So if you're up and you need to bring Old Hob through a bunch of zombies that are in his way and he moves 4 inches ignoring other models, you throw a zombie at him, you damage him with the Grave Golem or somebody with Hurl Corpse farther up, you can move Old Hob through this whole mess and not have to worry about it because he's going to move 4 inches towards the model that damaged it.
Ooh, that's a species spicy meatball.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
Grave Golem too, though. I mean, I'll just hammer it again. Sweating bullets in your face. Pretty much most of the strats right now. Even bombs, it's really nice because you can put 2 on him, and if he drops 1, someone kills him, he pops up on a different side of the map. Like this set.
How does Archie not do that better though?
What?
How does Archie not do that better with Elite?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Because Archie dies. This guy, you could to just do it at the last activation. He'll just pop up and then just, drop it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to die though, so.
Execute, yeah, but as you pointed out, you can just kill him. Unlike all the other demises, you can actually be the one to just do it.
Ignore all of these things that are popping up.
I'm trying to stall for Brandon.
Yeah, no.
You doing it live.
All of these points are definitely things that are real.
Just hurl corpse at him. You want your corpse up the board. This guy walks. Old Hob will just chuck 2 Ezekiel corpses at him. There you go. You start the damage early. And you tell me you don't have free damage sitting around when you have all these violent zombies? Just start ob-nobbing him if you need to.
But then in this case, Regen 2 is actually working against it. Which is
only if you can't kill him before you go with him. Otherwise, it's still nice to be at 6 wounds when you pop out on their deployment zone.
I do really like the idea of taking a 10-stone Grave Golem with with everything and the big threat that it is, and then focusing it yourself and getting in your opponent's head, going like, "What the hell are they doing here?" So, there is
your face is sometimes a hard second point to score. you pretty much can just guarantee it in this crew.
Yeah. It also Unearth is it buried? Is it May or is it you have to unbury every time?
That's a great question. Don't actually know.
If it is buried, unbury it.
Unbury it, yeah.
If it cannot be unburied, it is killed. You have to unbury it. Yeah. And if you can't unbury it, it does. That's how you.
You have a plethora of options for unburying in this crew. You'll have some good.
Yeah, Asura's gonna throw the zombies forward anyway with her bonus to let them just go. Yeah,
and you can just have one run all the way to the side of the map.
Or
And,
have
you know,
have one of those zombies that come from the dead rider just go off in the corner themselves too.
yep.
So force your
Like
opponent to chase down a mindless zombie.
It's deceptively strong. And it's basically almost like a guaranteed point, which 10 soul stones is a little much for, because then you can
Yeah.
only buy 5 points, arguably.
Okay.
But he does things otherwise.
So, but for real though, we're not going to move the Grave Golem out of Burr.
No,
Yeah.
keep
Okay.
one.
So let's talk briefly then about the Carrion Emissary. This is a model.
That was brief.
Yeah, this is a model. Haku, talk about him for a minute.
I legitimately hate this model.
Tell
he
us
does
why.
horrible things.
And ideally,
Beak is
35
0
seconds
in
or more.
range. His melee attack is 0 range. Absolute shenanigans. His gun attack is a gun. I don't know why. It's terrible. It makes him miserable because a 1-inch model engages him and he can't do anything to that guy. It's just hilarious how stupid this model is. But people will be arguing like, "Oh, I could bonus action create blocking train." Yeah, just create more zombies. Your zombies are your blocking train. Get this guy out of here. Bye. Don't waste the soul stones upgrading your totem.
Yeah, I mean,
he's honestly better at a smaller form. Still has the same aura, except for now it's on a model you don't care if it dies.
Yeah. Look, I think that terrifying.
Oh, and it heals. You had a model that heals, and now you made a model that has to walk attack.
Yeah. I mean, okay, fair enough. I'm kind of sad though. Like, I like him as a concept, and like, again, you want to summon zombies, right? Especially if they're unexpected zombies. That's the most important part. But the thing that I think gets me ultimately, and why I pretty much won't do this in this list, or won't even try it, realistically speaking, god damn it, fucking WinRAR, Jesus Christ. Stop. I don't know, I know it. Now the whole internet knows I don't pay for WinRAR. I like just won't. I don't like the idea again of not being able to hire the little guy that you get for free, right? Because it takes it and puts it into a place where you're not getting access to the model that you get for free is like a benefit for hiring henchmen, and I just really wish that they would change that. And until they change that, I'm just not going to do it. You know, that's what it comes down to. Jeff, talk for at least 35 seconds about this model.
Yeah, again, I don't have strong feelings about it mechanically. I don't think I've ever seen it on the table, but as you have probably picked up on, I don't play against Rezzers very much.
Yeah.
I think it's the only faction not represented in my area, probably. If you count the other factions that I pretend I play, but I don't.
Don't.
The model is another one that I feel like they had something in the conceptual phase, like it was a cool idea. Big raven with a sickle and weird implements hanging from its belt. Like, cool idea. I don't love the model. I don't love the execution of it. I think the wings are a little awkward, and the head's a little funny, and the sickle's a little boring. It's not terrible. I wouldn't call it a bad model. I just feel like it had a lot of potential that was not achieved, which is, when you compare it to the other emissaries, it falls pretty far down the list, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fair.
Greater.
I think this guy's probably not going to make the cut. Tyler, what do you think? Are you in the similar?
Yeah, I'm going to say Comedy of Errors for the exact same reasons. You engage them. Rotten Rend is like supposed to be a better version of Decay, which it's kind of not because it doesn't have a blast on the week, but it's a min 3.
Yeah.
I love the Flesh Crawls aura on the front of the card, but it's not worth 10. It's down to Burr.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the one saving grace to this guy is that I painted mine like Big Bird and gave him googly eyes. If you haven't seen that, ask me about it. I usually bring him to it.
Speaking about the model itself, that stupid saw hanging off the belt is the easiest thing that will break off your model.
Yeah, what saw?
Yeah, The only reason why I would take this model is to put the Nicodem avatar on the table.
Yeah, buddy. All right, speaking of Nicodem avatars, damn it. Come on. Ignore all of this. It should work this time, I hope. Fuck.
just move on. Everyone knows Archie.
Uh,
You can put it in brain question mark. We talked about him when we talked about Hurl Corpse.
I
You're bringing
know,
him
but
to Hurl Corpse.
I made the card. It should have worked. I'm not reclosing it, but ugh. All right, fine. So we're now at the point where we're gonna talk minions real quick. And there's not too many of them left, so we've been going for a while, so we appreciate everybody's hanging out and watching. But I'm just gonna. I guess I'll save this. Do this brief little bit right here. If you have a moment to give us a like or subscribe, that'd be great. I don't know how you found this, quite frankly, if you weren't already subscribed, but do that for sure. And now we're gonna cut to a 12-minute ad about that shitty mobile game that everyone loves, Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends.
But no, like and subscribe. Thanks to our Discord people and our patrons on Patreon are super helpful. They make us they cover most of the costs for the channel, and without them right now I would not be able to continue to do this. So major props to you. You'll see that one of our patrons asked for a tier list, and it took us a little bit to get our shit together to it, but shout out to Nick Kaiser. We just finally put up your tier list, and Nathan's is coming up next, which is going to be what do you call it there? Nexus. So I figured I'd get that in before we talk about these minions, because we're going to breeze through a couple of these and then we'll have a good discussion about one of them. But let's talk Molly minion. This is a rabble-rouser. He's technically a zombie. I've never once hired this model in Molly. Let's see if it'll happen now. No, that's not true, actually. You hire him in Crackbat because you need 3 of them. To make this work. So, Rabble-Riser is a 5s across the board, 6 cost, 7 health zombie. He is hard to wound. And Flurry on a minion with 7 health. Unfortunately, his melee attack is a stat 5, 2, 3, 4 with crit strike. And reflexes. He also has challenge as a bonus action, and he has Blade Rush, so he can charge through models and ping them for extra damage. And when he discards a card, like for instance to Flurry, he gets a focus. I don't like. If there's ever a place that these guys are viable, it's when they, in addition to all that other shit, get double plus flips. But, like, are they? Haku. No. Okay. Yeah, I mean, in addition to just not having the points, but, like, come on, don't you want a little?
No, I don't want to build them. Like, get them out of here.
The Scallywags are pretty cool. They're much more worse to build, though, I will say.
I'm going to spoilers. No is going to be my next answer for a while.
Yeah. I mean, Flesh Construct's next, I think, but sure. All right, so Haku's not going to hire these.
That's what I said.
Do you see a world where you could hire them, or so let's say someone built them for you? Would you ever play one?
No.
Blade Rush auto-focusing crit strike minions?
Challenge at a plus flip is kind of funny, I guess, but it needs a 8. That's brutal.
Yeah.
But the fact that the plus flips aren't limited to attack actions even is pretty relevant. It is all actions. It's not relevant for this guy, obviously, but whatever.
He could get triple plus flips from challenge because he's a zombie minion that could be within aura of the 4 thing, and it's not a melee or ranged attack.
Burr.
Okay, Jeff.
I think it's really sad what happened to them coming out of second edition. They were extremely good in second edition, and they're much less good now.
Yeah.
But I also think that the models are a downgrade. I don't hate the new models, but the second edition models were kind of cool.
The punk zombies?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love them.
Yeah. Nope, that's fair. Would you love them more if I had chosen the Scallywag instead?
Greatest product Weird ever made.
Dude, they're pirate skeletons. How can you not? Tyler, talk to me, Rabble-Riser. You're my only hope.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna put them in brains. Mid. Yeah, spicy hot take, right?
All right, I'm gonna bump them up based on that alone.
Sure, okay. But not for shenanigans reasons, but because from my experience, every single time I have ended up with one of them on the board, be it a summon or actually hired. I think I have hired them once. They do work. People ignore them because they think they're bad, and then you Blade Rush, flurry them with focus, and you land a crit strike or a quick reflexes, and people are like, huh. Or if you have a high crow in your hand, you give somebody stunned at 8 inches, and they're like, I don't like that either. So oftentimes when I do summon them, they get focused quickly, but the people that make the mistake of not focusing them, they are an absolute liability. So
Yeah. Well, so do you find then that if you were to focus them, do you think that you wouldn't if you were running them with like Asura in the bubble or like Toshiro or both?
I mean, yeah, I mean the Asura bubble. Yeah, I don't. I think Asura really cares more about mindless zombies specifically versus actual zombies.
Yeah, but
They seem like better
her
with
plus
Toshiro
flip aura still hits them. Is my point.
on the study.
No, or just flat one. It doesn't do mindless
No,
zombies. It
it's
does
other friendly. Oh, zombie models.
zombies.
I misread that. No, yeah, that further cements them. I think they're a solid mid tier for me for that. If you need protection, cheap protection near her, something to distract or whatever, they can you put them in and you'll surprise somebody.
Yeah,
But
I think the biggest reason that I'm not just like hard hopping on this brains train is they cost 6 points and this list is already very tight.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
that's
yeah, fair enough. I'm very happy to put them in brain, pending further
yeah, I
review.
agree.
Let's talk the other the first McMorning minion, McMinion, if you will, the Flesh Construct. Haku, I know you're famously outspoken about how bad these guys are. Do you want to talk about them?
Am I?
Yeah.
I mean,
You constantly
they're
are telling
great when
everyone.
you
You
summon
text me
them.
at 3 a.m. all the time and are like, Brandon, I just fucking hate Flesh Constructs and I'm never going to hire them ever.
I think for a reason, a realistic reason you pointed out is I don't think they ever make the soulstone value cutoff for me.
Yeah.
In this list, it is nice to do everything at a plus flip, which is why you should just hire Zora and McMorning and then summon these guys because they're amazing summons. But actually paying the soulstones for them, we're gonna get to a minion that I actually adore in this list, and it's not Flesh Construct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's fine. If you need Ruthless, like you definitely hire him. This crew definitely suffers from having to fight terrifying people.
Yeah.
So he's a good answer there. So, Brain?
Yeah. Brain? Yeah, I could definitely see the Flesh Construct in Brain. I do like their melee attack's fine. It's like a 2-3-5. It's not great, but like it does stuff. Their projectile vomit though is why I like them because like blasting the shit out of a bunch of stuff and giving them poison and distracted is just insane. They're reckless, so they're fast, so they can run around and do scheming if you want. And like I've hired one I think twice running this list, and I've never gotten it poison on it because like how do you? But like for 9 health,
Tacto Shiro.
yeah, sure, okay. Um, I guess, yeah. If I damn it, then no. Attack Toshiro to just try and instant kill my 10 stone henchman so that I can put the aura on the model I want it on.
Yeah.
No. Jeff.
I think you can't kill him in order you want that.
No. What? Yeah, he does. No, you give the aura to Asura. He gives his upgrade to anybody.
Okay, I wasn't sure if his mine was after an enemy killed.
No, there's no way. I don't know. Hold on, I'll just
No,
look
you're
back.
right. No, you're right. It's just killed.
Yeah, after this model is killed. Dude, if it weren't, I'd Yanlo.
Yeah, fair.
Look, Yanlo doesn't need any more shit. They nerfed him into the ground multiple times already. We don't need to do it a fourth time. Or second time. I don't know, dude. Jeff, what do you think? Flesh Constructs. Do you like the old ones or the new ones better?
I don't know what it is about these new flesh constructs. They have this very strange stylized art, and I really hate it. It's very rare that I say that I hate a Malifaux model. Most of the stuff I at least like a little bit, but I kind of don't like the new flesh constructs.
Yeah, that's
something.
I absolutely agree.
About.
We could go with Burr on these. I use the OG, the metal one that looks really stupid and funny, McMorning, and then I use the green.
Yeah.
I also
as the third.
I'm also annoyed because I'm a collector, and like Kaku brought up before, like because they used to be, you could only have one or two of them or whatever it was, and now you can have three. You can't. There was no easy way to buy one or two more, which is annoying. Although in second edition there were technically two variants. One was holding a body, and one wasn't. So that's a slight difference. But that one was just a classic, like big beefy zombie. It looked like Frankenstein. It was super cool. These ones I don't like.
Tyler, question for you before you get to talking about the Flesh Construct. Do you want to kick them off of this stream and start our own stream because they're so egregiously wrong about how...
Okay, bye.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
where are you coming from?
You don't know where I'm coming from?
No, not you. I don't know
Oh.
where they're coming
Oh,
from.
Jesus, yeah.
These two jokers over
I
here.
was worried that whatever massive cloud of smoke that makes us have bad opinions about models that was covering the eastern seaboard and all of its suburbs, which includes Chicago, had gotten as far as the west coast. I have my window closed, so it's not going to affect me, but
Yeah, no.
that was
They're
like
definitely
7
wrong.
bits in one sentence. That's an impressive amount of bits per sentence to represent value for the
You just
dollar.
unlocked an achievement.
Yeah. Okay, but Flesh Constructs, what do you think?
They're fantastic models. They're top tier. They're number one summons, full stop. I hire them consistently in McMorning all the time. But we're talking McMorning, right? And that's the main reason why they kick so much ass in McMorning is because you can just throw a ton of poison on them and then they're super resilient. You can't do that in Asura. So in Asura, I would put them. I would rank them much lower because it doesn't take much to take them down. Without any kind of healing. So I would agree with. I would go to Brain.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put them in Brain, right below Bat Noir. Maybe above Bat Noir, because I think they're more consistently hireable. In fact, I think I'm going to put her above. Yeah, I think that's where I want this Brain. I'll be talked out of it, but
You got it.
all right.
I think they're a little less than her.
Fine, above Bat, below
yeah.
Hannah. Or Anna, sorry, not Hannah Lovelace. That'd be crazy.
Ugh. I have feelings about that one.
Yeah, wild. All right, so Flash Construct, I think they're cool, but let's talk about what I imagine is the minion Haku's excited to talk about, because it's the one that I have hired probably the most in this crew, and that is the Guild Autopsy. Am I right, Haku?
No.
Oh, you fucking, god damn you. Alright, fine. Well, look, let me talk to you about Guild Autopsy. So, this is a model that can go do its own shit. It's not super fast because it's 4 movement, but has creep along, so it's really on average probably like kind of 5 movement with no bonus action, which is like not great. But the reason that I really like them is twofold. One, they have a little bit of gun support with Infect, which is like fine. They have like a decent melee attack that has built-in infect as well. They are a zombie, so they get access to the plus flips. For 5 points, 6 health, hard to wound, bloated stench is like fine. But the big deal is that I find myself in this list really wanting the synergy of Loot the Corpse. And Loot the Corpse, as we know, is on the one of the Reser neutral upgrades, and this model is 5 points for a Loot Their Corpse that it is built in and gives you a model worth of AP that you can do stuff with. And that's why I have several times now hired one of them or 2 of them to bulk out the activation control sort of bit of it. And I won't say that they did a lot of work, but I'm really at a loss of what to stone for in this list, and I think that they sort of let me feel comfortable going down to like 1 or 2 stones to start with, in a way that I think putting like multiple upgrades on other things is not something I feel comfortable with. Haku, what's what? Are you gonna say dandies? Like what fucking minion? Rotten Bell?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, that's
Are
fine.
you kidding me?
No, I don't know.
Plus flip?
You're a plus
Possibly
flip.
double plus flip lore?
I'll double plus flip your lore. Talk about Guild Autopsy. We'll talk about double plus flip lores in a minute.
Bad. The main reason is I think you have a good point. Potentially McMorning with the Luther corpses, especially because I definitely slapped that on 2 models. You don't actually want to eat models in this list. I've been finding out. Like, the corpses all have a purpose, and it's making Rider great. And the corpses in your backline don't tend to stay there because they're walking, and you don't really want to kill the ones that are walking. So that means Guild Autopsy has to be like in the middle of the fight to get like actual access to corpses, and I don't know how you're doing that without this guy just getting absolutely murked. And so I value getting my horses up the board more than I value the Soulstone, because I've taken the upgrade before, and then I've just changed my mind. I'm like, I'd rather just not.
Yeah, I took the upgrade a couple times, but then I backed off it and tried one of these guys instead. It felt better, but it's still kind of awkward.
Yeah, I've just like every time I've eaten a corpse in my backline, I'm like, why? That could just be walking towards my opponent. You're just slowing down the start of the horde.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, fair enough. Jeff, do you have anything to say about guild autopsies? I mean, it is guild people who are dead.
We took a guild person, we killed them, and then we turned him into a horrible abomination. Absolute perfection. Love it. 10 out of 10.
They were already a horrible abomination before they died. I
Yep.
think you'll
And
find they just stayed that way.
Perfection.
We did it. Would you ever hire one?
No, because I don't play Rezzers.
Wild. All right, Tyler, talk me out of Burr.
And I don't know. The only synergies that I've been eyeballing is the gun with Old Hob as another way to get Old Hob up the board in position to out of his activation.
Yeah.
And
And you can still put damage down range because you could shoot somebody else and then wild shot damage him.
Yeah, it's true. But again, kind of like what Haku said, they have to be up in the fight for that, and they just don't have the resilience unless you're running McMorning too. That's another thing that's kind of in my laboratory is trying to make them a little bit better.
Okay.
But
Look, if you got the corpses for shooting Old Hob, I might be down for it. But yeah, without getting them, we'll get to our next model.
Yeah, fair enough.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
So I'm cool keeping him down.
I put him in Burr right above Mortimer.
Yeah, Mortimer is not gonna get it.
All right. Let's talk the Seamus minions then. The last couple folks before we have a bit of a chat about McMorning and the bullshit that this unlocks in that. Okay, so Dead Doxy. Dead Doxy, I think, is arguably one of the better minions in the game, quite frankly. 8 health at a 6 stone model with Disguised, Hard to Wound, and Regret. With 5s across the board is fucking cracked. These guys do so much fucking work for me and Seamus. They have a bonus action that moves not only themselves, but another model, which is an attack, so it can be on enemy models, although you do get fucked from concealment sometimes. And that because you can't relent.
Not in this
crew. You can't relent because normally you need a 6 or higher, but you can relent if you have plus flips and don't give a shit. Let's fucking go. They also have seduction, which is like fine, but probably not. And then their fancy cane's like just a 2-3-4 attack with decent triggers. Especially blank stare is a hell of a drug. But let me ask this question then. I like these guys, and I've hired one a couple times because he does really help with getting Ezekiel up the board, because I often am using my rider to move Asura on turn 1. How do you feel about Dead Doxy's Haku?
Normally I'd hate them, because Take by the Hand at a 6 is pretty miserable. I actually think. I have so many problems when I bring a Lead the Way or Take by the Hand models, because it's like concealing screws you, all these other things screw you. You fail the TN, you're cheating cards, and you don't have a lot of card draw in the crew.
Yeah, there's no card draw. There's
but
intuition
at a plus
little
flip,
bit, but
YOLO. Their attack is a perfectly good attack. 8 wounds is disgusting. You have a lot of models you want to move around the board, and you don't want to take their AP to do it. Old Hob, if you're hiring him, is a great example. Madam Sybil is another good example. Dead Rider's hiding, so you're not using it on him. But Ezekiel, sometimes you want to just move him up the board a bit. Like, there's a lot of models you really want to just move up the board, and to do it as a bonus action, and then, frankly, just throw some seductions at people can just be debilitating. Like, oh, you're gonna cheat the seduction just to not get distracted? Great. I 10-inch discarded a card from your hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that the thought has crossed my mind. I like these guys for that purpose, but you get literally double the Take by the Hand without having to flip for it if instead of hiring 1 Doxy, you hired 2 Restless Spirits for the same amount of Soul Stones.
Enslaved Spirits, yeah.
Enslaved, sorry.
Yeah, and first of all, Enslaved. Second of all, it mostly comes down to the fact that range 6 is better, and being able to live is huge in these strats, because you actually do want to park her on like a voting box, or park her on stealing an intel token potentially, or whatever the hell you're doing.
Well, she's not going to not get her intel stolen back, but
having the lower HP models, especially when you expect your opponent to bring crew that it's going to be blasting killing things, is actually just like tempting fate. yeah, you're not wrong, but I don't know. And then you get the undead synergies and the zombie synergies.
Yeah, you get all these synergies, and they're a very, very hardy model. I don't know. I probably could count on one hand the number of times I've had a Doxy die on me. And if you want to get crazy, put Grave Spirit's Touch on him. I don't think that's necessary in this, but holy shit. Terrifying Regen also, why not? I think they're good. I don't know where I want to put them, though. But Jeff, what do you think? Do you like the zombie ladies? Would you hire this lady of the evening?
Yeah, I mean they seem pretty good. That's a lot of health for.
Okay, hold on. I don't mean in the prostitute way. I just want to be clear. I realize I did just say hire and then lady of the evening. I just want to be clear. I mean like in a crew. Maybe to like. Look. All right. I'm just not getting me too over this.
I'm not going to specify which way I meant it.
I know which way you meant it. That's why I felt compelled to jump in.
Fair enough. Look at all those extra holes she's got. It's great. Anyway.
Awful.
Seems good. I think the models are a little dated. I'd like to see an update of some of these older Seamus models, but not if they're going to do it in the style of the
of the bomb ass flesh constructs.
The worst. Yeah, terrible.
Dude, weird. If you're listening, cool, Seamus Nightmare Box for real, guy.
That's not gonna happen. Nobody likes Seamus. He's banned.
He's the best master.
But yeah, no, they're cool models.
Otherwise, people to play him.
Yeah. Look, the whole Danger Planet crew doesn't have a Seamus body pillow for nothing. All right.
Well, that's because you're bad people, but we all knew that. Anyway,
speaking of holes,
I like the models. I think they're fun. I would like to see new versions of them that are even cooler. But I do like the style of them, and there's always something fun about the juxtaposition of the like pretty dress with the frilly stuff and then the horrible grotesque face. So I like it.
It's like Madame Sybil, but toned down a bit. Tyler, tell me, what are the shenanigans?
Anything again out of activation movement, take by the hand, having the flip for it. Your point about the restless spirits is exactly where enslaved spirits are exactly where I would approach it. However, in Asura with the zombie synergy, I think that brings them straight up to brains.
I think I really want to put her in brains because one, I really like these models. Two, we haven't put a model in brains yet. Three, we haven't put a model in brains yet. And four, we haven't put a model in brains yet.
I'm fine with that. I'm legitimately fine with that. I think I only don't hire her because I'm too busy messing around with Toshiro doing stupid things. Objectively better to probably just hire like a dead Doxy and something else. More Soul Stones legitimately.
I think that's very accurate. I really liked it the couple times that I played with her, and I think I'm going to continue to do it in the Asura list.
Toshiro and the dead Doxy on the seduction at 10-inch is also, you get bonuses on that, right?
Yeah.
No, Toshiro's claw attacks.
Her fancy
Toshiro's my boy, but he sucks, dude.
Yeah, he's in the top tier.
Yeah, well, he's not anymore.
He only knows how to tell people to swing a stick harder. That's it.
Fair.
More accurately.
All right. Let's talk the last Seamus sorry. I'm not going to apologize. Dead Dandy's blow. But let's talk Rotten Bells. Rotten Bells are 5 costs. They're like basically Doxies, but toned down to every degree. They're 1 less point. They have 1 less health. They have 1 less defense and willpower. They have 1 less bonus action. We did it. They have 1 less defensive tech. They're disguised and hard to wound. They have pounce, so like getting them fast is pretty easy considering they have a lore, especially when that lore has a bunch of plus flips. Let's talk about that. Haku?
Yeah, no, the 12-inch lore is insane when you start adding plus flips to it. Stat 6 lore is at 12 inches. Very strong. Yeah,
plus flips.
It's ridiculously strong. Like, if they slightly misposition a model, you can just, dead Doxy, move this forward 3, lure, pull a guy, lure twice. Like, hell, like, it can get pretty nutty at a plus flip.
Yeah, dude.
And again, it's a very similar logic. Like, if they're discarding a card, you remember, discarding a card to cheat, then you're essentially just, doing it to discard a card.
Yeah. And, like, I guess the thing that's the most important about all of this is that, like, they have such absurd combo potential because of the lure and the plus flip. If you're hiring Bet Noir or Madame Sybil or Dead Doxies, they go up with their Scarlet Temptation bullshit because then anything near them that or like lure them into something, they get fast. Your Doxy gets plus flips to willpower, or they get neg flips from willpower duels caused by them. So that Madame Sybil demeanors, there's all kinds of shit that they do. So the potential is pretty rife.
There's a really good Red Chapel list in Asura Rotten.
Yeah, Asura Rotten subclass Red Chapel. That is a talent tree worth pursuing for sure. Jeff, how unassuming is your demeanor?
It is extremely assuming. Everyone assumes it. I think they're also cool models. I think like has been covered extensively. Stat 6 lore is good. 12 inches is very easy to underestimate how far that is and get caught out. I've been on both sides of that, unfortunately. But yeah, cool models. I would like to see them updated. I love to see a new box for the Rotten Bells and the Doxies with updated sculpts. None of them come in the core box, right?
No, they come in the Dead Dandy box. No. All the Rotten Bells come in the Seamus core box. It's
Yeah,
the
that's right.
Doxies
Okay, so
and
that won't
Dandies
happen.
come in
But
one box. Yeah, so if you already own Seamus, you get all the Bells and Madame Sybil in the same box. So hire them. But Tyler, what are you thinking about this guy? Long Island.
Very one specific purpose, which is really the lure.
Yeah.
So depending, it super varies on what you're trying to do, and if you're going to lure your own guys, which probably not, but if you want to, then they have to be in the front, which is just not great. So pulling them into your death trap of zombie horde clutches, I think is as similar as the previous one. Not as great because of all the stacked front of the cards on the other one. But yeah, I'll put them in brains.
Yeah. I kind of like brains on this too. Haku, are you thinking brains above Doxy or are you thinking higher?
No, just there probably.
I think brains above Doxy. Seamus has an absurdly strong keyword, right? I think that's a lot of the thing. Like all of his minions are really good. And I think that's it for talking about Seamus minions. There aren't any left. Here's this other guy. It's unrelated. So this is a Dead Dandy. He is like a Doxy, except like a Rotten Bell, except worse in every way again. He's a 4-cost model with 5 health and Disguise and Hard to Wound. And he's manipulative. They also have a Proper Mystery, which is their bonus action. Lets them drop a Schemer Corpse into base contact with a Schemer Corpse and then remove the one that they... So, like, if you can, like, I guess if you hire these guys, interact Proper or Mystery, make a corpse for the Dead Rider, but, like, biting insults, like, fine. Theoretically, you can gain a pass token with it, but I've never seen that work. And then their Fancy Cane sucks. That's what I got. Haku, are you ever hiring dandies?
Remember, they get a plus flip to their bonus action.
Sure. Yes. Yeah, they're need a 7 bonus action for 1 corpse marker as opposed to the other like 9 models you could hire for the same cost that say corpse. You know what? You could just hire a fucking mindless zombie for. You could hire 2 corpse markers for the price of 1 for all the good that this one will do.
They're not scheme markers then.
You're not a scheme marker then.
But you can obviously just hire the guy who the wheelbarrow guy who just makes everyone scheme markers.
Yeah, well for 6
so no,
points, sure, but.
No,
you know what? We didn't talk about gravediggers making all of your zombies scheme markers.
It's fine. They're not zombies.
All right. They're not.
It's good. Whatever.
Yeah,
Who cares?
Gravedigger is theoretically a thing that you could do. I guess it would have some synergy, but it didn't cross. I thought about it for a second, and I was like, nah.
I still don't like them. If you're playing like that game mode with that encounter, you're probably not in a good spot anyways.
Sure.
Plus, you don't really remember like you just need the zombies to live 1 turn, and then you can mash drop scheme markers. Like I've dropped like 6 scheme markers with 1 bonus action from Masura.
Yeah.
It happens. Like you're not if you get into a winning spot, you're winning. Sure. You don't need like this end of activation, the corpse markers or scheme markers. You don't need it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So I guess Jeff, talk to me about Dead Dandies, and just for equal opportunity reasons, you had better threaten to bang them too.
Yeah, definitely gonna bang them. I like the equal opportunity zombie prostitute / male prostitutes.
Because
Proper Murder Mystery is interesting because the steam fitters have the same ability but for scrap markers, and I know nobody likes the steam fitters, but I actually get a lot of value out of my steam fitters, and that ability works really well, both for scheming and for generating markers.
Yeah.
But
does it require
although actually I guess
on
it's not the same. It's well, no, actually it's quite different now that I'm thinking about it. You can drop a card for it, and also I don't think you have to take a check at all, so it's better.
Wow.
Never mind.
All right. Tyler?
I know how to play Malifaux.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, we know. Tyler, do you like dandies?
Burr.
Wild. Let's then bring this tier list to a close. I just chose McMorning too because I like him better, but I don't necessarily think that this is a thing. But so I guess what are we talking? I guess overall, you can read McMorning. I'm not going to go over him. It's not important. The McMorning general premise is that both versions of McMorning have this action Twisted Genius where they turn 3 corpse markers into a flesh construct. So at once per turn, you'll be making a flesh construct. It is already in his crew a not a cost type action. Like you're definitely going to do it every turn. You really have to fuck up to not, or like something has to go drastically wrong to not summon one a turn. And there's so many tools to affect that now. Ezekiel is a great one. Asura Rotten is a great one. But ultimately, I think the thing that we should be talking about is this is the tier list as it stands for like Asura being the leader. What are we doing in terms of hiring Asura as a henchman in master-led crews? Where there's like a primary emphasis on corpses. So specifically, I think we're talking like McMorning, maybe Reva, a little bit of Seamus, stuff like that. But obviously the stock goes way up with McMorning because he gets to turn your shitty zombies that you just summon for basically nothing into dudes. And there are corpse markers everywhere. He gets to reduce, reuse, recycle sometimes and makes corpse markers turn into other corpse markers and corpse marker. So this isn't necessarily representing McMorning as a whole, but this is representing masters that you might want to hire. So this is like a Sora Rotten stock in not a pure zombie crew where you're hiring a bunch of this stuff to do things with. Does that make sense? That's kind of what I envision with this.
Sure.
Great. So
Yeah.
I think I talked about this a bit when I was.
Yeah, we've touched on it
Asura.
quite a lot.
She's insane. Her versatility is bonkers. You're probably not hiring the other stuff, but obviously it goes up if you have undead because of the decay healing.
Yeah.
If you know anyone who has like good cast actions or tactical actions, you just need a plusless for it to unpack. She does it for your whole crew.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a lot of like insane versatility she just brings for being inherently herself. McMorning, I would actually like shout out McMorning 1, where like you didn't have a good way of getting corpse markers consistently.
Yeah.
And especially aggressively, and now you do. And so it's just like, oh, it's much more logical to just like jam McMorning 1 now a little bit and still get the golem. But I mean that you're missing an attack, but whatever. Like it makes things a little bit more possible.
Yeah. And I mean,
So, yeah.
having McMorning 1 as an insane beater with the versatility of actually being able to use his Twisted Genius is pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Precise Masters with Stat 7 is a hell of a drug. So where are you putting Asura's higher ability in crews that aren't her particular specialty? Do you think that it's brains?
Yeah, almost every master can use her. I mean, some just use her much better.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily that I'm going to hire in like Yanlo or Molly. But like, or maybe Castor. I don't know.
Yanlo wants a corpse marker for Toshiro, obviously. And,
sure. Okay. Yeah. I guess technically you get Toshiro for 1 cheaper if you're playing.
How
Yanlo.
many
no way,
Tien duels does Molly have in her unpack? A decent amount.
No. Not really. Her unpack is like put some schemes down, draw some cards, move around a bit. Like Archie's leap is the only thing that's really a big deal, and you need a
Her
specific
parade
suit.
is.
I'm talking Molly 2.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right,
play Molly 1, right?
Calm down. I'm not Tyler.
So Molly,
not
Molly
everybody
1,
can play
you
Molly
would love
2.
to get plus to her attack actions midway through the game.
Yeah, midway through the game, sure. I don't think unpack.
You just make a zombie underneath her, turn it into a plus flip burning marker, and then you're dope.
Huh. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'll try.
Like wherever she's standing, you can just make a massive plus flip or a 4.
All right, Scarlet Widow. If you're still watching, don't tell anybody that I'm going to try this in Molly this weekend. We have a local tournament. Scarlet Widow is one of our locals. She plays a bunch of stuff, but Dreamer, hence the bit. We met at the Danger GT and found out that her and her significant other are local, and we were playing stuff. But nonetheless, so your brains all the way. Jeff, how do you feel? Do you think obviously you don't play Rezzers, but are you pumped to see people hiring Asura Rotten by yourself or against you in other master crews?
I think it'll be more interesting seeing her run in her own crew, just because you don't get a ton of henchman-led crews out there.
Yeah,
So that'll be
and you
fun.
sure as fuck don't in Rezzers.
Yeah.
You see it
So I
in
think
like
that'll be
Neverborn. Period. I can't think of another one.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's, as a matter of fact, the only times, and except for when I was just doing wacky stuff, the only times I've faced a henchman-led crew was in Neverborn. So that makes sense. I think McMorning. I like the new model, the 2.0. A good choice on. I mean, not 2.0. The title version. A good choice on choosing that art. He is a wacky character. I typically don't like the evil, cackling, maniacal bad guys, but he, in some of the stories,
Dude,
he's actually a
Maniacal
really interesting
Cackle
character.
is not going to take this well. I just want you to know. Okay. Please continue. Sorry.
I think he's an interesting character in spite of that, especially in a couple of the stories that he's been in, where we get a little bit more of his internal thoughts about what's going on. He is fun fact. I think there's 3 masters in the game that I've still never seen on the table. Period. On either side of the table in any edition, and McMorning is one of them.
Ooh.
He's the only Reser master I didn't play in second edition, and I've never faced him. So,
I make this challenge then to you, Jeffrey. I not only own McMorning, but have played him, and I have literally one master I've never played a game in Malifaux against left, and it's Tony, and I know that you own Tony.
no way.
So
that's hilarious.
I will bring a McMorning crew, and we can play a game at PAX Unplugged.
Fucking go.
If you bring a Tony crew, and I'm telling you now, I'm gonna win.
Why?
Because I'm better than you at everything, especially bagel choice and hard teas.
Well,
Also,
listen.
because McMorning will just swarm Tony, and I don't know what she would do about it.
I mean, look, get in the comments if you want to see Jeff and I face off at PAX Unplugged, where we're holding a Malifaux tournament and rooming together. Maybe we can live stream it from the hotel room.
Well, listen. Here's the thing. I'm gonna put my Trump sign up next to it, just so that you.
Can we fucking not? No, I can't beep this. Don't fucking say his name in the thing. God damn it, Jeff. I'm sorry. There was one rule. Don't fucking say that. Just so we're clear, I want to make it very clear that Jeff is not a Trump supporter. This is
that was another. That was another
an inside joke that I'm now going to have to explain because I don't want people to get the wrong idea.
No, it's fine.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
I have to leave now.
Oh,
by the way,
yeah, that's fair.
I have to go take care of dog things.
Okay,
again,
yeah. We're gonna wrap up and be done. Thanks for coming.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Enjoy your spooky zombies. Peace.
We will. There's a fucking horrible candy store right next to the Long Island Ferry, which I took to go shoot our Mythic America stuff, and they just have a massive Trump sign, and it's fucking the worst. Which is where we're coming from. It's an inside joke. It's very funny to us, except it's awful because I don't want to fucking hear his name. And I'm not going to say any more because the next sentence out of my mouth will be a threat that will be a crime. So we're going to stop now. Let's move on to... oh, we're done. Oh, that's it. Tyler.
Wait, what about me?
Tyler, how do you feel about Isor Rotten in Master Cruise versus Henchman Cruise?
I think just in McMorning specifically, McMorning 2 specifically, I think she has a ton of possibility.
Dude,
I am dying.
I gotta run this list. It's cracked.
I'm dying to try this because when you put in Horrendous Corpse with all the zombies she puts out, and McMorning 2 puts out way more poison than McMorning 1, which you may not even think about. Everything on his card is this model gets poison too. And then he takes like 2 actions for Desperate Plot because of quick reflexes for 1 action and so forth. Moving on, he's going to summon a flesh construct for you. You're gonna have all your constructs on the board, and you're gonna have 5 zombies on the board. Not to mention Sora's ability to just spread them out and drop scheme markers. I think this is a legitimate threat. I am very excited again to try it. I don't know. I don't play Seamus, or I actually don't play any other Reserve Masters other than him and Molly. So I think, yeah.
Bro, you gotta get Seamus. Please continue. Sorry.
I did play against Seamus in Texas, and that was actually one of my.
It wasn't.
My most.
Oh no, it wasn't Andre, right? Because he was on Perdita. Who was the Seamus player?
Icky Pumpkin.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, is he the Australian? No.
No. that.
What was the Australian? Sorry, the people's nicknames in Longshanks really fucks me up, and I just don't know who people are. I know who you're talking about though.
But yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Make morning too for sure, but in general,
Yeah.
do you think brains?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, she unlocked so much more with this change and adjustment.
Yeah.
I'm happy to sacrifice her reanimate for everything else she got. Reanimate was a ton of fun when you were able to throw that reanimate a flesh construct in a Toshiro aura, but now you don't even need those dominoes. You just you just swarm. So
Yeah, no, that's fair. So all in all, I mean, I think we're pretty pumped about Asura Rotten. This was a spooky zombie themed keyword for Halloween. Definitely check out the Discord. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. But again, I don't know how you found this if you weren't. This is pretty
shared it
last
around
minute,
my places.
and niche. Oh yeah, I probably should have done that, huh?
I did it.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm acting.
Glad one of us has any idea what the fuck's happening. This is not me. If you like this, let us know because we might do something like this again. I don't know if we'll do a tier list in this format because I really like the more polished bit, but like having quick like streamy chats for specific events about specific things is kind of a cool premise. And now that I know how to do it, it's a tool in our arsenal. And also, if you're a Patreon member and want to come on a channel and do something like this, let me know. Reach out. I've had a couple people reach out already, and that was rad.
Also, get down in the comments and let us know why I was the most right about everything and everybody else was wrong.
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
No.
But definitely get down in the comments and let us know what Jeff and I are feuding about now, because I want to be in a feud with Jeff publicly online.
Oh, that won't be hard. We can very easily come up with more.
I know we're on a feud.
Add it to the list.
We're on like 3 or 4 feuds every time we get together, but I want like a cool public one.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah, I think I'm pretty comfortable with this tier list. The only thing that I'm really not happy about is that people are insane regarding Toshiro. It was just Haku. I probably should put it. I don't want to like move it after he.
I like Toshiro. I put him up there. I forget where I put him, but I put him high.
Hob above Toshiro. Yeah.
Wow.
I think this is the final say. If you haven't played this crew, definitely check
The
it out
short-
because it's cool.
The half mindless zombie, the short one, he should be bottom tier. That is like a travesty that he's up that high. That model's terrible.
Oh, he is up pretty high.
He's way too short.
that's because I gave him the top tier because I loved him with the combo with the graveyard base.
Terrible.
With the right graveyard
All right,
base.
I'll tell you what. I'll fix that.
Nope.
Like this.
Nope.
No, if you put no.
Nope.
You put Mike Myers on higher.
Nope.
You need to switch Myers and Bloody Valentine at least.
Nah, I think that's the final tier list, guys.
I can't believe the Guild Autopsy is in the bottom. That's ridiculous.
I'm drunk with power. Yeah, I'm moving.
I see that.
I'm drunk. We're not gonna put it. We're not doing that.
Why is Archie down in brain? Archie should be higher.
No, he shouldn't. Archie's bad now. Don't you remember how they nerfed him and he's like basically unplayable outside of straight Molly keyword because he's Molly keyword? Well, I think one of the things that I do want to explore though is like a key list, is like a Hurl Corpse list. I think that might be neat. I don't know if that's an Asura thing or a McMurray thing, but
man.
So
expensive because the only two models are Archie and the Golem. So you're
nope.
spending 29 already.
As we discussed, Archie Golem and Old Hob.
Oh, Old Hob.
There are 5 models
That's
in the game
30.
with Hurl Corpse, and the other 2 aren't hireable because one is Alphonse LeBlanc and the other one is Nekema.
Yeah, Nekema.
But hear me out. What if we did a doubles match where Corpse Nonsense Generation and then Nekema? That would be pretty fucking ridiculous, I think. Yeah, we'll have to play. I kind of want to try like a cool doubles format. That'd be a neat thing to do. But until such a time as that manifests, I think we've been going on for long enough. Give us any feedback you have. Thanks for watching. Thanks to our patrons. That's what I got. Thanks for coming, guys. I hope you had a great time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah. This is not Tyler. Is this actually your first time on the channel?
Yep.
What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. I just think that you did the tier list with us, but that was Roxy, and you and Roxy are not the same person.
No.
Yeah, we
Roxy's
got stuff.
way better.
Yeah, this is it's not like this. It's just I usually cut out all the fucks, and the Trump shit.
Oh.
But I didn't this time because it's
You got to keep that stuff. It's important.
Yeah. And maybe the audio will be cleaner if I in post, but hopefully not.
Hey,
too bad.
I'm looking in the app at Hurl Corpse, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to drag this on, but there's a model in here in Dead Man's Hand called Harvest Man. It's just listed as henchman, and Dead Man's Hand 666 immortal, cannot suffer damage or be killed. I've never seen this before.
Oh, it's from it's not from Dead Man's Hand. I mean, I guess it is, but it's from one of the specific scenarios that they published. Hold on, let me look at it.
Okay.
What's it called?
I mean, it's spooky because it's called Harvest Man,
Yeah,
and you have to have
the
Dead Man's
Harvest
Hand.
Man. Yeah, it's from the scenario. It's the model pictured is actually the Nightmare
Carver?
Nightmare, not
No.
Nightmare Carver. It's the Nightmare Pandora thingy. In fact, you know what? Let's just go. I'll show everybody all my. I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it now.
I mean, if they're here this late.
If you're here this late, you get to
You made
see
it this
things.
far.
Except that this will also be just available. So like, where's the app?
Oh, you just go to just go straight to the website.
Oh no, that's so many things. Oh, Crew Builder, and then I don't know what are websites, Tyler? That's a crazy thing.
Never heard
So
of
if
it.
you go to cards and then you go to Hurl Corps. Oh, I guess I have to go to settings and then turn on Dead Man's Hand. And then delete my account accidentally.
Please don't.
Cards. The Harvest Man. Yeah, it's the Pandora Scarecrow. That's what that is. It's like it is actually just a woe. Or a sorrow. But yeah, it's the Harvest Man. It was for a specific scheme pool. He has Hurl Corpse. You just can't play him. I guess you can play him. He's a 10-class henchman.
Is there an actual model for that? Because I'm a
Well,
collector.
this model is the Pandora Nightmare Pandora box.
Nightmare Pandora box.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
And
yeah,
this isn't one?
It was. It is unclear to me whether it was Rotten Harvest Pandora or Nightmare, but like.
Anyway, this isn't a stream thing. I'm gonna go look at the website.
It's not on the website because it's Rotten Harvest. I'm pulling it up, literally pulling it up now. I have one, so I can show you the model physically. But this is it's this guy right here.
Oh,
You see him?
neat.
Yeah. This is what
Yeah.
the Rotten Harvest. You get a big pumpkiny boy. This is the totem, and this is all the stuff that they have. Baby Cade and Candy come separately, and the box is Pandora. The three sorrows of which this is even the coolest one. I think these two are way cooler. This guy's got two
it's an
sides, and
alpha.
then the poltergeist is rad too. But and that's what we got. I'm gonna stop this stream now. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you had a good time. We had a fun time doing it, I'm sure. Happy Halloween. You got anything you want to say about the internet? / do you have anything to say, Jeff?
Goodbye to the internet. Happy Halloween.
Wow. What about you, Tyler?
Happy Halloween. Bye, internet.
Bye.